Good, everybody? Unscripted Logic, episode 38. It is Monday. You know what it is. I am Social Assassin. Happy Veterans Day to all the soldiers out there. Thank you for your service. And I do have an amazing story for y'all. War story from somebody that I actually know personally. And with me, as always,
unfortunately, Pablo Picasso is indisposed at the moment. However, his Australian counterpart is here for tonight.
Oh man! All right. So
salute, happy Remembrance Day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So shout out to y'all. MME should be joining us for a little while.
That's
but
dope. That's dope. We've been wanting to get him back on anyway, and
today is the perfect day. So he won't be on the whole show, but he'll be on for a while. He is for anybody that's new. First off, I want to say this before I say anything about MME. If you're new to the channel, here we discuss a multitude of topics, and everyone's opinion is welcome.
Good word.
Thank you. And everyone's opinion is welcome. Join us live. Join us live and get in on the conversations. Interact with us in the live chat. If you show up live on Mondays from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a great little community here. So hope y'all.
I put earlier when I put on my community post, I said a home for free thinkers, honest conversations, and witty banter.
Yep. That's what it is. And we discuss an array of topics, and you'll find that out tonight if you're new, because I have an amazing war story about somebody that I knew personally. But aside from that, I have an array of topics, little things, but just they're all very different from each other. I have another little story. It's short, but and then a couple of the things I want to talk about. And real quick before we get into anything else, and shout out to MME. He is a veteran. He was a Marine. So if we can get him up here, that would be awesome. He said he was going to pull up. But before I get into anything, real quick, I just want to say the ring round 2 is coming up November 23rd. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We're about, I think, $50 or $75 away from our goal. So if you want to donate, it is Cash App $ Social Assassin 47, or you can Venmo at Social _Assassin _47. And yeah, it's a capital S, capital A on Social Assassin for both of them. So again, that's $ Social Assassin 47 on Cash App. Venmo is at Social _Assassin _47. So you can donate to the ring. And if you're unaware, it's a battle rap event that we are putting on, and the person who won the first one is defending his title. And we also have 2 other battles going down that night. So shout out to Rap Ref, and shout out to all the battlers on the card. Brick Street Sprite versus Robs. And hopefully if we can get in touch with Robs, hopefully we can get both of them. Brick Street already said he can come on next Monday for a face-off. So we got to get Robs in here to figure out if we're gonna if he wants to do it, or if he can do it.
Robs or Rob Z? Everyone says Rob Z, and I'm like,
I know.
Robs.
Well, I say Robs because there's no space.
Right.
So that, I mean, I don't know. I assume it's Robs, but I could be wrong. And it's a lowercase z. It's not even like it's a capital Z.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, but either way, doesn't matter.
So do you know?
Shout out to.
I don't know if people know why today is Veterans Day.
Well, let's get a veteran himself up here.
Oh shit!
Shout out.
Hold up,
bro.
isn't Fresh Coast a veteran as well?
Shout outs. That's
I don't
fire.
know.
Shout outs to all veterans.
I think so. I could be bugging. But yeah, thank you to everyone who has donated to the ring so far. That has been awesome, and appreciate anyone who does donate. Like I said, it's going down next Saturday, November 23rd. But MME, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, brother. Appreciate you.
Likewise, bro. Likewise. Shout out to both of y'all, Social and Pablo. Yeah, now that's what's up. And shout outs Fresh Coast or everybody that served or got family that served or whatever.
Yeah, I have family that served.
Yeah, no, that's because that's a core part of this. And with Veterans Day, veterans were highly disrespected at the first onslaught of this, not by the people. The people started off by praising and honoring. These were the original heroes. That's why the founding fathers got this status that they have now, because they were the ones who led and put these people together. But at the same time, they're the ones who caused the issues with veterans and why we have to make a Veterans Day. So that's a gift. Yeah, it's heavy stuff. It's like shout outs George Washington. And the big homies right here from Massachusetts. This is the epicenter. I love really getting down to that. And
shout out to your dad, Fresh Coast. Shout out to him. Salute to him.
Ooh, hoorah! That was open the halls of Montezuma and all that.
There we go.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I didn't even know this. I found this out earlier. Is when when they made Veterans Day. It's obviously November 11th. Obviously American veterans. It says, where the hell? I just had it. It's on the 11th day of the 11th hour, Allied forces in Germany signed an armistice, and the next year, Woodrow Wilson first commemorated Armistice Day in 1919. So that's what we know now as Veterans Day. I just thought that was crazy. Correct. Also, on this day in history, 1831, Nat Turner was executed in Virginia. So
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
Yo, shout out to CR. That's what I'm gonna call you. Shout out to CR. He's a mod over on MME's channel, so shout out to him, bro.
Right.
And last week he sent us a super chat. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
shout out to CR.
It's just funny because every time I look at the name, all that stands out to me is the BS at the end of it.
It makes me laugh every time.
We'll call him BS.
BS.
Shout out to you. That's Habibi. Estamos en las manos de Dios. All love.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to.
No, I love it. I love it, Randall. I absolutely think it's a beautiful balance because some of this stuff be a little chaotic sometimes. So that's why that's a homie right there. Always. Shout out. That's a free thinking society right there.
Facts. That's why we allow that in here. You know, if you can have a weird name as long as you're not in here acting like a weirdo. You know.
Music.
And I'm so glad we got rid of some of those for real.
For real.
Shout out to But to add on, Pablo, that was beautiful. That kind of when you think about like the Nat Turner that rebellion and what that did, it showed that people were willing to aid and help and abide and help people. Nat Turner didn't do that by himself. That wasn't only slaves that completely was behind that. That was help, and that was other people who wasn't abolitionists really were the hidden hand behind this, and they were a hidden hand because they were able to hide in plain sight. And that's the key to it like this. You can't really run away from something that's out in the public so much as this pseudo racism that is thrown out there. That is a very small. It's a small population of our regular citizens, but it is a population of elite people. But they are doing that to themselves. You know that they don't care. They don't have no boundary lines besides economics and power. So that's the only real division that they're creating. But it literally is a perfect alley-oop for what Pablo said about like the way when you think about that time period, and since the American Revolution, since before Nat Turner did that, it was issues. And when you think about the abolitionists, you gotta, when we talk about Shays Rebellion in Massachusetts, where after this is we should have had a veterans memorial, a Veterans Day since back then. This is what I mean about this. They didn't pay they didn't even pay the people who was fighting, the elites, the George Washingtons, the Alexander Hamiltons, the Madisons, the Monroes. They all was getting paid because they were still merchants. They still kept the slave trade, the trading going on, not slave necessarily, but that's where the Marines came into place, holding down the economics while everything was going on. That's why it was a special forces. The Army was just right. It was a special forces to protect the money. The Army was holding the Continental Army was holding thing down, and then they had special forces that was able to fight if it was anything with war with tanks. I mean, with not tanks, with vessels, with ships. That's they call them vessels, and then on the land to get on ashore. So these people like Daniel Shay was one of them. He caused a big issue in Massachusetts because after fighting from 1775 when the siege of Boston started. That's the real start of the American Revolutionary War, not 1776. 1776, when we got independence, is when Boston held it down and England had to say, all right, we got to start attacking them somewhere else. They holding Boston down.
So Boston held it down.
Boston held it, absolutely. And that's why they kept coming after Boston, because it started to be more personal. In Massachusetts, nonstop, and it's the whole thing. Nah, he wasn't with it. They never let. When they said it's time to take the hammers away from everybody, all right, well, we leaving out of Boston then. Y'all can have Boston, England, but we just gonna be surrounding y'all. They surrounding them with militias. Right. And then that's why it wasn't nothing they could do with that. But these people, Daniel Shay was one of those same brothers from Massachusetts. He fought in that thing, called in from George Washington, everybody else to fight. And from 1775, held down Boston with little to no resources. Then from 1780, he's kicked out, or he's not kicked out. He leaves and he says, I don't want to deal with this anymore because I'm not getting paid. And the same merchants who are the governors and these people who are running our the different colonies, they're the ones who making the money while we fight, and we're the fighters who dying, and we're losing our lives, and we're using our family homes and things like that. They're losing land. So he came home, started a rebellion as a veteran of the American Revolutionary War. He started his own rebellion because they didn't get paid and the merchants were taking all the money. And that, when I say so, Veterans Day for me, I pay attention to it became something it was an insult that all these people were fighting in these wars nonstop. All these things are happening, and it wasn't no real acknowledgement. They were coming home to die at certain situations. Those veterans, they might not have been acknowledged as such or viewed that way, but that's when that really happened, and everything went into effect. People became veterans because of that status. You activated for war for more than 6 months, at least 6 months. I mean, if you passed away, you automatically get that. But the status is you, as a survivor, you active duty for more than 6 months. For the official way. Shout out to the big homie C Rubs in the house.
Oh, shout out to that. Hey,
Mavericks, much respect. Always you, Habibi.
We appreciate that, brother. Always. Shout out to Hazy in the building.
Hey, salute, Hazy! And if you're not, I'm gonna put MME the link for his channel, because if you like what you just heard, basically every morning, you'll
get this every morning.
Sleep late, but he's constantly killing it with the live. Especially lately, I've seen
every morning I listen to MME on my way to either on my way to work if he's live, or like while I'm working in the morning, because he's always live in the morning at some point. Sometime between like 6 and 9, like he's live. So, and he's always dropping crazy knowledge.
And it's great. It's great to see the numbers going up.
It is. You deserve that, brother. You deserve that. But yeah, subscribe to. If you like what you're hearing over here, you'll definitely love what you're hearing over there. So subscribe. But yeah, man.
I'm honored. And I'm never gonna forget that you get the alley-oop though. You definitely got the assist of the year social. This is the year, and this is where I said I'm starting. I'm at least trying to do 5 years straight of what I'm doing right now to build up to like my main goal. But it was the alley-oop social. Like, yo, I did a random live. He popped up in the chat like, "Yo, you should go live more. This is fire." And from there, I've been planning on how I'm gonna do it, and I needed to make sure I started when I was ready to start it, and that's where I am now. So
I think that's a big thing, not just preparation, because like I always say, like you can never be fully ready. You can prep, you can prepare, but you know
because
at some point you have to just dive into it. But I do want to say also too is like I see some people like they go live sometimes, they're like doing stuff on their channel, and it's like I just think the intention was so clear with like when I saw you speaking, it was like the motivation for, you know, it's like, no, he's just got knowledge and he's just talking his shit and like it giving you great wisdom, great, not like history, all this shit. And it's like,
that's why when I first saw that the live that he's referring to, like he wasn't really going live a lot at that time. It was just like, and I watched it. I was like, damn, he's dropping so many gems. Like, and I literally, I was just like, bro, you got to go live more, because it was so engaging to me, and there was nothing on YouTube at the time that was
most
like,
YouTube is just, honestly,
even if you don't know the topic, even if you don't know anything about what he's saying, he finds a way. I wish I had teachers like that, because the way he teaches, the way he talks, he's dropping so many gems, and he's teaching and you're learning, but it's the way it's just so intriguing and engaging. I love it. So I tune in every day.
I won't even know the topic that he's talking about, or like I'm like, oh, this piece of history or something. Like I won't even know about, or like I'll know a little of it, but not like the facts. And it's still engaging to me because you weave it in a way where it's like you bring it to like modern day shit, or you know, you tie it into other things. And I just think, like, to Social's point, it's most of what I see on YouTube is like, I remember one time someone said to me, like, what is the purpose of your channel? What's the is it entertainment, or like basically it's saying like, do you have something to offer? Now, whether that's just like laughs, whether that's like, you know, music, what, you know, like, I feel like some people, it's like they don't know what they're offering. You know, a lot of what I see is just, especially in today, it's like,
and we have a lot to offer.
It's a lot of short form content. It's a lot of
because attention spans have shortened. That's the reason for that.
A lot of it's political, but not in a way where it's like, well, let's talk about policies, or I disagree with that. It's a lot of like
bashing
libtards and republic, you know, it's just like buzzwords and you know, like rage baiting, I feel like. So it's just good to see someone like long form content of like, let's dig into, and not just like surface level, like let's talk about history and you just go over the facts. It's like, no,
and he doesn't have to
this. Let's grab a shovel. Let's dig deeper into this.
And he doesn't have to like grab any books or look up anything. He's spitting it all off the dome.
Right. Well, that's what happens when you do read books and stuff and you retain this knowledge.
Right.
You can bring it up without having to. That's another thing, because sometimes I see people and it's like they're saying facts, but you can tell they're just like reading bullet points off of like Wikipedia. And it's like, okay, that's like, and I feel like, especially with like statistics and stuff, like statistics is very like, they're very malleable. They're very like, you can, like, what's the word? You can like put your thumb on the scale depending on what information you want to present. You can take, out of this many people and this, like you can present whatever argument you want based on whatever statistic you're cherry picking, basically. And I feel like a lot of people just go by the headline or the bullet points, but it's never like, okay, just because someone said that this is what happened, like let's dig a little deeper. What was the motive? Why did that happen? Why did this person do this? Or what was going on at the time? And that
Right,
was
right.
to another point what I was talking about last week is people covering stuff from the past, and they're missing all the nuances, all the context of what was happening at the time. They're just like literally like the government hated Tupac because of a song, and it's like,
Right,
is
right.
that why? Like, what, you know what I mean? So it's just nice to see that. I find that very engaging, and I feel like it's in very short supply these days. I think that's why it's so refreshing.
Most respect.
Now, real quick, MME, how much time do you have?
I got the whole hour. I got the whole 60 seconds.
All right. So
I actually I'm gonna let you guys know like 10 minutes ago because they gotta. Somebody requested me to work at 7, but I'm giving it like 10, 15 minutes. If they don't confirm it, I'm just gonna I'll be free, but I'll be around.
All right.
Regardless.
All right, because I want to tell this story about this veteran that I know. But before we
shout out to thanks to Fam Jam. Sorry, shout out to my Fam Jam. Shout out to her always. Sorry,
word. Shout out to Dankster. Shout out to everyone in the building. But of course, real quick, one time for the one time.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is.
Come on in, y'all. Hit that like we're talking about decade old battles as though they just happened. It's getting heated cause they both have passion. Pablo, Picasso, social assassin. Friends dropping gems cause they know about rapping. Hop on the panel and get to why you're wrong. Debated on the channel, so on and so on. Chop it up and discuss different topics. Come in and watch it, Unscripted Logic. Come in and watch it, Unscripted Logic. Unscripted Logic. Every Monday from 6 to 9, talk battles and pick apart shitty lines. And if you're not on my side, I can change your mind if you give me time. But while you're here, you should hit the like, cause we keep it raw every Monday night. Nah, bro. No, I'm fucking telling you. Oh my god. You don't know a goddamn thing. Are you serious? You're out of your mind. Exactly. I can't fucking believe this. Oh, please. Get the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's ridiculous. Bunch of chuns and no goddamn thing. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Really? Yeah, okay, bro.
Shout out to Pablo for that. So now MME, since we only got limited time with you, I would rather wait to tell my story till after, because you can listen to it, later. You know what I mean?
I'll make sure I comment on it too.
Yeah, word, because it's an amazing story.
I love that.
Yeah, oh man, it truly is amazing. But I want to talk about like what were some of your experiences being a Marine? What are some things that you remember? I want to, because since we have you here and since it's Veterans Day and since because the holiday is always celebrated on a Monday, but Monday is not always November 11th, right?
Right.
So it's the actual holiday. So yeah, man. Any good stories or even just things that you remember?
All right, I'm glad you just said it like that because it's a plethora. It's actually I had a good story today, so it's like I'm in contact with a lot of my brethren still. Mainly my main dog. We are like dope. This, like we that's together, dope. Like hip hop and all that. Yeah, you asked that question, I laugh and I'm getting goosebumps. Like it's a time of my life. It changed. It's like where my life changed literally from this. So it's like everything was fun. Even with the drowning experience with the water week when we had I'm a Marine, you have to nobody did tell me that Marines have to learn how to swim until I was in boot camp.
Right. I heard you telling that story about the water, but that it was
Mhm.
fucking great, bro. That,
But for
whole
the
story.
but there's people who haven't heard it. So if you want to tell
Yeah.
that story,
I'm gonna tell you that. Then I'm gonna tell you because actually, the main thing is, I started to get into boot camp, but I'll tell that, and I'll say I'm gonna branch off to something that I didn't mention because it popped up in my head when you said favorite. You said memories, and I have a vivid memory. It's not really my favorite, but I didn't really mention it because it's not really my favorite. I'm not really that proud of it. But it's funny.
I have some of those. But hey,
it's
sometimes those are the best ones. You know,
exactly. It's all right. So let me.
whatever you're comfortable with.
What a good question. It's hilarious because that's like we getting yelled at, punched on, you getting cursed on, all type of things is going on with you. But that's your best time. Boot camp is like your best time because of you don't build a bond like that anywhere else. Like we bond with everyone else after because what we dealt through in boot camp. So it's like I got goosebumps already right now. All right, let me just say the story. I knew that swimming was probably gonna be a problem, but honestly, an 18-year-old me, like I'm a man, I could take over a hood right now. I could take over my neighborhood, and I decided to come here. So in my head, I got ego. So I'm like, all right, I'm a man, I play basketball, I'm an athlete, I'm a track, I did track. This shouldn't be a problem. So they put us in, it's 80 of us. And there's maybe, we could say like 20% is us dark brown from the city. Like they called us the city crew. But everybody was from city, but it was like I kind of was a big dog. And I'm not a big dog. I was a main person because I probably had the least understanding of, like, I didn't know none of the stuff about the Marines. Like I went in, I made my decision on, I never told you I'd say this, but I made my decision on September 11th. Like while I was watching that, I'm like,
oh,
all right,
wow.
Yeah. So basically what happened is my homeboy, this is going to lead into because I never said this either. I have a serious problem with my recruiter. That's why I don't say his name because I don't want to do anything to him. But when it's just like, brother, why as a Marine, I don't think you should be lying don't not lie, but tell the full truth. It's all right. Now, and the reason why I said it because I would have practiced swimming. So that's just throwing it out.
Right. Let me know before yeah, right.
Yes, I was going in my pull-ups. I know we had to do that. I made sure my crunches was good. I did everything right, and he didn't say nothing about week 5. So it's like August or something like that. And my homeboy he passed. He got his last credit from high school. He had to do summer school. So he was the one who initially brought this whole Marine thing up. And I was one telling him, nah, I'm telling him what my family and people telling me, nah, you're going to be like a slave. You can't do anything. You could go out the war. You won't come back. So I'm kind of throwing him that same thing. Then I went and did the flow with him. I went there. The recruiter was trying to talk us in. And I kind of was like at a point where I knew some wild stuff was going on in the streets. And I wasn't really getting word back. It was slowly coming back what happened. But it was like a big dog a personal big dog who was real close to me, who kind of like mentored me in some type of ways a lot of times, for like at least a good 2-3 years of my life. He went out with the big dog, the top of the food chain dog, and they went to go hustle down south. And they couldn't come back up. So that's all I got first. I didn't know what that meant. And then slowly but surely throughout week by week, it was like, oh, big dog is gone. And other dog might have been the one did it. And so it was just like wait, what? And I'm like, all right, so
shit,
this is crazy, and I'm dealing with this right after high school. I didn't have to go to school. I'm already like just doing my thing trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So what happened is basically 9/11 happened, and I seen this, and I was just like, yo, if I'm willing to go to war and do all this stuff on the streets, and this is going on in Murray Bertram is my high school. That's literally, we used to walk to the Trade Center today because they had the best food for the lowest prices. I still don't understand that. The big district with all the money, and that's where you get the biggest discounts. And the best food, best big portions. So we used to go there. So it's like, I know people my homies live around there. People lived there who went to school with us. That was their home school. We had issues over there and got cool with people from those projects and stuff over there. So it's like, it hit me. And it's like nothing like that. I never seen nothing on news happening. And I felt like that. And I didn't know. Shout outs to Hazy. I think about you all the time. I didn't know anything about a conspiracy at this time on that level. I knew about like I had some knowledge about things, but nothing.
Oh, okay.
My mind wasn't no way even thinking about that's a thing to think about. I thought that.
Interesting.
I'll say it right now. I ain't gonna say I thought the magic bullet was true, but I thought that hey, maybe I was on that level where I'm still like, hey, well, somebody asked about Kennedy, I'm gonna say Oswald did it with a magic bullet. Like I was.
But now you're totally against that. Now you are completely against that. You're like, no friggin' way that no effing
we going
way
over
that
to Jack Ruby and all that. We getting out into that. We gonna talk about. But the truth is though, just to give you where my mind was, it was all just an energy of I gotta defend. And if I'm a defender, forget the block, I need to defend the country. And I'm talking to this guy, he's talking about the Marines are supposed to be the toughest ones. I need to be with the big dogs. That's all I knew. I went and took the test. I got
That's all I ever heard too. My one of my brothers was a Marine.
Yeah, that's all they tell you, that they're looked at as the best. They'll say that even the other armed forces say that they like the big dog. So he sold me on that, and he did a lot of talking. That's why I got an issue with him. I'm just kind of that's probably a whole other discussion. But he basically was selling me a hoop dream. Yeah, you're gonna get paid. I mean, you're gonna get this and that. If you go to war, it's gonna be even more for your family. You get and then he hit me. Oh, I never said this. He hit me with your moms and everybody go get a life insurance policy automatically. If something happened to you, they'll be good and taken care of. And I'm like, such and such just happened. That ain't happened to him, and he lost everything and all that. And it's like, well,
right.
I got that.
You're thinking of family, right?
Yeah. So that was another selling thing that he did, and that he didn't lie. Like I'm not gonna say that he actually lied. He just held back major things. So anyway, now fast forward, I signed.
That's kind of messed up.
You got it. You can't do nothing but laugh. Like we was.
I know. I know.
He didn't just do it to me. It was all of us were laughing about this. It wasn't all 20 of the dark brown, and I ain't gonna lie, it was mainly us though who was stuck in week 5. I was one of the last ones to finally learn how to swim, but it was everybody who was from the South. They basically was good money. All of us from the city, even some people who was Latin and like brown or like just to keep, because that's like this name. And I learned that there too. Like, oh, I heard the stereotype, but now I'm seeing it. But here's the real story though. All 80 of us got to line up. And first, you got to just prove that you can bring a body. It's a dummy body that weighs about 75 to 100 pounds, something like that. You can swim that, bring that across like the shores. So the water is only like 3 feet or something like that, or 4 feet. No, it can't be 3 feet. What am I talking about? Like maybe it was I'm bugging. It was 6 feet. You got to do it in 6 feet. So I'm swimming, and I did it. And
I was gonna say 3 feet.
Yeah, no, 3 feet. It was 6 feet, and I normally when I'm in the pool, I didn't even swim in this. I only swim in a 6 feet section if I'm like I was only going to the 6 feet section if I'm going to stand on the bar. Even I did that on the edge, and I'm just on the edge. But I chilled in like the 4 foot section my entire time being in the pool, even when I was over 4 feet, like my entire time. But I'm swimming now, so I'm watching everybody else, and as soon as they get in the water, they grabbing the thing, the dummy, the body, and they like doing like this back type of thing. They swimming backwards. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I got down there, and I just like panic, and I'm going, and I ended up going across. So I'm like, oh, I can swim. So that's the initial test, and if you do that, you automatically got to go to do the big test now. Some people couldn't do that, so that's why in my mind I'm like, oh, I really can swim. I remember I was mad hype. I got the dummy off. I got him out the water. Like, oh, let's go. All right, here we go for the big test. They've been telling us about this test. You're gonna go to 15 feet or something like that, and you gotta swim over it. But in my mind, I don't remember my feet even touching the 6 feet. So I was good money.
Right, so, because how deep it is don't matter as long as if you could swim across 6 feet, you could swim across 15 feet.
Exactamente, mi gente, mi hermano. Exactly. That's what
right.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Right. Nah, but for real,
no, I know.
Depth don't matter.
But Pablo was right. That's what ended up happening right now.
I know. It's
I'm like
coming.
trying to be Bruce Lee with the bullet. So long story short, though, I got over there. And I'm part of like the top class, the top half of us who didn't do it. So I'm in like the first day of week 5. You get the whole week to learn how to swim. First day, I already made it to the final test. There's only 2 main tests. So I forgot to tell you that the second test is you have to be able to do a horizontal backstroke. That's like our move or whatever. And be able to now carry. You have to be able to bring the goal for the last one is to bring the dummy over, but you got to be doing your backstroke. You got to be doing it, and you got to be in some type of formation. So I did that. I did that I was like a butterfly in that thing with the horizontal backstroke. Like I got everything. It said breathe, put your arm out. So I'm doing it. But now we did that. So you did the dummy with the 6 feet. Then you did the horizontal backstroke and the 6 feet. Now you got to do the 15 to 20 feet with the dummy. But I didn't practice the horizontal backstroke with the dummy. So I'm following all protocol. Breathe, keep breathing deep breaths, and like what they said, down and out, like something like this. I was doing whatever it was, the out, then whatever that was. I was doing all the three motions. So I get there and I got the dummy, and I'm trying to like have it on my chest and do it and try to do it, but I'm like I can't. So I had to start doing it with one hand, and all I remember is I that started to not do good. So I try to go back to what I did before and just what I did in 6 feet and just grab it and just paddle. And all I remember is just going down. I was just like, just dropping it. And I'm looking at the surface just dropping. And then all I remember is I got up and, what are you doing, Marine? You shouldn't be over here. You should be practicing, Marine. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And that I had to go back to the beginning. And my mind, I knew it was my mind because that's kind of how I ended up defeating this. All I kept thinking of, I don't even remember drown. Like I know I drowned because I woke up, but I don't remember. Like I don't got no blackout thing. I remember seeing something, and then all I remember again is that somebody was waking me up. I don't remember. I don't have nothing I remembered. So I'm like over there now. I'm back to 6 feet, and I'm just like, yo, half of the people are gone now, and people starting to slowly get out. Now it was only like 15 of us, and I'm stuck on that first part. I cannot. The first day, I'm like the only one who cannot do this now because I didn't go through whatever for people who needed the training on that first section. I didn't actually get that. So they just figured that I made a mistake and I need to practice it. And I just took that dummy and I just kept falling every single time. Now I'm so nervous. I'm like, all right, it's 6 feet. So let me see if I can get down there and then jump up and like try to like jump up every time and get some breath air and jump up. I started doing a mad dump. Like I'm trying to be a frog when I'm supposed to swim. It was crazy. But
the frog splash.
Yep.
5-star frog splash.
Oh man.
The best part though is the redemption. I ended up being literally the last person in there the last day. If you don't I'm sorry. If you make it to 7 and you can't pass the day 7, you gotta like restart all over again. You gotta start boot camp all over again. So it's day 6. I'm day 6, and now they damn near pep talking to me now, because I am not getting it. They're like, all right, so listen. This is if you're gonna be a Marine, this is what you got to do. You're gonna have to go through all that again. Remember what you did, Sam? We're gonna have to go through all them first 4. It's hell. It's pretty. The first 4 weeks of getting to know things is nothing about that is pretty. That's where it's really is as grimy as it can get. Besides the crucible at the end.
It's where they separate the men from the boys, right?
Literally, King. Literally.
Exactly.
It's the first time, though, the Marines ain't yelling at me. They like huddled up. Yo, come on, you can do this. Come on, you can do this. Come on, do this. They pep talk. They don't never do that. That's the only time before I got my ego, before I came an actual Marine that they ever did. I got goosebumps right now from this. But that motivation, because I kept writing home that I felt like I'm in jail. I literally just felt like I'm in jail that I can't leave. That's all I kept writing. Girls, all of that. So I felt love. I felt like the homies was talking to me. I felt like when the homies tell me something, it got done. And that's what it was. And literally, I just started seeing. Like,
you took real life experience and brought it into that. You have to, right?
Exactly. So I'm seeing now the Marines now is not. I'm the last one. All the people, even from the city, they got it. I was literally the last one to get it. They in there, they showing me, they practice, and I started just zeroing in everything. Okay, I see he's breathing in like this. I see what he's doing. I'm just starting painting the feet. The feet is staying together like this. I'm paying attention to every little detail, and that whole day on day 6, I just went through everything. 1, 2, 3. No issues whatsoever. And that's how I officially learn how to swim. And I love it now. Now it's like I feel the.
And how old?
I be swimming. I be wanting to grab somebody and then practice.
How old were you at this time?
I'm 8. Wait, I went in boot camp 18.
Okay, that's
18.
fire. Good
Yeah,
for you,
right.
man.
I went in October. September 11th happened. I went in October 10th. That was my day.
Okay. So yeah.
No,
so
sorry, October 9th. My day 10th. The 10th is where everything was signed. My fault. October 9th is when I was on my yellow feet, though. But
that's a buddy of mine's birthday. Also
okay.
John Lennon's birthday. But so yeah, that the anniversary of that was only like a month ago. A little over a month ago.
Oh, yeah, I feel that every time. I mean, from the 9/11, I get that vibe because of that, how it attached me every 9/11. And then every October 9th and the 10th, like, because the 9th is when I knew I'm going to go to be a Marine in boot camp. I send off all my letters. I had my girls, my peoples, everybody was in check. And I'm just like, happy-go-lucky. Yeah, I'm a Marine. This is going to be cool. 3 months is nothing. I could do that. And then when you hit them yellow footsteps and you just get yelled at this, I got a mismatched pair of boots. My sneakers, I had to put double soles on one side. It's just chaos from that day. As soon as you sign in, you check out and you sign your, not an NDA. Shout out to 702 if you're in the building, but even if you're not 702, not an NDA, we sign our basically our clearance. Like there's an automatic clearance all Marines have, like, just to keep it like that. And yeah, once that happened and once we basically, they're like, all right, so after this, everything here, basically, this is here, this is not for your family. You can't be writing home telling them all this stuff. And it just was on. So yeah, it's like 2 different dates. When I was naive still as a recruit, and then when I learned what is about to happen. But I'll say another thing a memorable thing that stood out is we in MCT training now. So this is kind of like when you're doing Marine Corps training. Basically, we do an extra, like it's like a bootleg. It's boot camp on steroids, but without all the yelling, because they can't yell at you now. We can fight now. Like that's what it is. We let that be known too. Your rank don't matter. You ain't going. I mean, if you like a general, you got shiny stuff on it that we can't. You kind of off limits. But if you enlisted, unless you like a gunny, like a top dog, and you all old enough, you can't be just disrespecting no random Marine for no reason. If I'm unsaddled, I'm off, you can, but it's on after that. So
shit, okay.
Yeah, that's a whole new ball game where we got to be respectful. So, and this is what we shooting the big dog. This is where I got but we doing
because a lot of places, if you're the new guy, you get shit on, but in the Marines, that don't matter.
Nah, it's how tidy, how honorable you are as a Marine, how much integrity you move with. That's big.
I love that. I love that.
Integrity. I feel like
the integrity, the respect. I love that. I love that.
What makes a Marine.
Well, I hear a lot about, and it's not just Marines, but like any like boot camp, like they always say like, oh, they're trying to break your individuality to where. And
yeah.
I see what they're saying, but I'm like, I don't know if it's necessarily they're trying to strip you of your humanity. They're trying to, and they definitely get you like exhausted to the point where you get out of your own head about what you think, and it's supposed to be like turn into muscle memory, kind of like back to your natural instincts. I feel like that's more of a better way to put it.
That's the best way, and to put it in the words that a Marine will put it in. We are training you to make sure that at the worst situations during war, you're still doing everything you've been trained to do by reflex throughout any type of situation. So that's why we go extra hard and we look forward to battles, because it's training. That's where they call us jarheads and they say we crazy, because we are literally any situation. We playing pool. All right, it's like, all right, so we gonna, oh yeah, that's what I'm going. A wrestling match happening that I'm about to get to.
Oh my god,
you didn't finish that story.
Oh yeah, so that's the last part. But that was Pablo just gave me the goosebumps.
Okay,
this stuff is real deep to me. It's really, I love this these type of conversations, because it's really who I am. It's really the part of me that people really refuse to kind of see sometimes as well, because I have so much other stuff about me that be going on in my past and my experiences. So that. Even when I was a Marine, I came back and all I heard people saying, oh, I thought I saw him, but that could have been him. Like, he was like walking straight ahead. And now when I came home, it was like, I was I was still in Marine mode.
Right.
Like, when you
Your whole posture and aura.
everything.
Yeah,
It was like I was walking around
changes.
like they said I was like the Terminator, and I was like responding to everybody like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I was like,
T1000 mode. Right?
yeah, T1000 and all that. Like, it was just straight robotic. That's what it really was. That's what he kept saying. So we doing our we doing big dog training, and everybody gets to call people out. So I don't really, like, I told them from the beginning, I don't really do that wrestling stuff too much. We could train and all that all day, but I'm taking it serious. So it's like we learn, like, I can't really say too much, but because it's Marine ethics, but we learn our own style of combat, for long story short, like physical, like with anything. Like one of the things I can say, this is not that serious, but everything should be able to be turned into some type of weapon, like, to keep it simple. This is how we're trained. So we on our own kind of like, and everybody's like, this is when you do this, when the separation happens, where rank don't matter. You're seeing some Marines is kind of unset. You're still respectful, but you like, now when you're amongst us, you kind of like being too lackadaisical and you forgetting rules and protocols. So it's like, we gonna play around. Like, when we play around and we have to do that, it's like the gladiators, when we got the pole and you got the equipment, they put us in the pit and we get down like that. That's cool. But now we just regular, you just want to wrestle. And so they called me out because I was a leader, platoon leader. I got called out, and my job, people was kind of like, I had the highest job. I had like, I can't say I had the highest test in the ASCAP, but I had one of the highest. And I was able to get any job in the Marines. So I went and got whatever they said was the smartest and most intelligent one. So I'm in SATCOM, and even like, so satellite communication. So even people who were like in charge, they didn't know this. They was like, I never seen anybody with this, and nobody whoever came to my battalion had this job. So they saying this out. Everybody is knowing. Every time I go somewhere, they letting it be known. Oh, that's the Marine. They knowing about it before I get there. I went to Cali before I got there. Oh, so you the Marine who got this job, huh? You think you smart, huh? So I got that the whole time. So, and I always was also put in charge and all that and get ranking because they respect my intelligence like all the time. And I was also I was top dog when it come to physical. So I got called out. I told him I don't really want to do it. And he called me out and we wrestled, and we learned a combat. So that's what I told him. I don't know what else you want me to do. And one thing led to another, and all I heard was clack, and I was like, I just felt something went wrong, and I broke his collarbone, and he couldn't finish the training.
Oh man,
exactly.
I broke the collarbone before. Actually, they say it's one of the least painful. I don't know because I've never broken any other bones, but I didn't even know it was broken for like the rest of the day. So
well, he was like,
I heard
right away.
I heard it was super painful.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, bro.
Really? Yeah.
He was like,
maybe it's different for, I don't know. Maybe it depends on where you break it.
Yeah. It was nasty. I felt that, and I told something happened again. And I didn't break his collarbone, but I hurt somebody's shoulders, and I blocked him, and I hurt his shoulders. And he's 2 years later, he's like, yeah, they said I thought it was good, but it kept getting worse. And it's like, I don't play fight. I don't like doing that. I'm not trained to. They don't train us to play fight. Only time we do that is when we doing the gladiator stuff, and we got poles, and you gonna teach me? So you're gonna teach me how to knock somebody out 4 seconds, and I could done them off and a little bit more. You're gonna teach me that, then you're gonna tell me, hey, let's just practice fighting now. What?
Right.
Like, that don't make sense.
Trying to be a killer, but then like be reserved and
exactly.
Don't go full killer mode. Like
that was crazy. So that stopped all the play fighting. That was definitely the last time that happened in the NMCT. But now that's what came up when you said memories. I'm like, that was but all of the memories, I like to say it did have a positive because something changed. Like, I definitely was, every time something happened big, change happened right after it. Like, I stood up to things and things followed after it. And like, even as a Marine, you could be, once they gave us that Eagle Blanca, I was very free to call everybody and everybody out, and they did not like that. And that's where my little clashes was happening. But I stayed sat. I made sure I kept myself in check. That was like the main thing. I was one of those Marines. My stuff is the most spit shine. My bed, the creases is creased every single time. I'm not playing around. You could bring white gloves under my toilets, all that. I was one of those Marines, like extreme with it. But yeah, that's that, and I honor this, and I honor y'all. I appreciate you guys always. But yeah, I also want to say before I go, just in case, I'm about to check real quick while y'all ask me or break anything down. And shout out to the chat already. I'm about to look into what y'all. Oh, shout out to the homie Siege. Blessings to you always, King.
Facts. Shout out to Seizure and Sick Mosh and everyone else in the
Sick
chat, man.
Mosh! Shout out to Sick Mosh versus Fresh Coast in the house. Check y'all out with that.
Sir.
November 23rd, baby.
Yes, sir. Next Saturday. Not this Saturday, next Saturday.
Look
but yeah, we're $50 away, or 50 or 75 away. I gotta check. But
yeah, I'll throw some in there. But I gotta make sure I take that day off work too, because it's a Saturday. I forgot.
Yeah.
And
so real quick,
with Pablo, I'm looking forward for a track with Pablo in the upcoming future. Hopefully
definitely. I've been going through beats lately too, because I definitely want to do
y'all need to definitely do a track.
He wants to collab. I definitely want to do a collab with Bruce Leaf.
Facts.
MME,
It seems like everywhere I go, somebody always doubt me. Although I'm talented, these brothers still trying to reroute me. But I'ma keep growing because they hate really just sprouts me. On top of that, I know that they don't know nothing about me. They see the dollar signs and think I'm repping dead presidents, but bills for the people. Making money's irrelevant. I want to see the homeless, people living as residents and kids in the hood, growing up without the negligent inheritance of a slave's mind, accepting prejudice, views from the public, thinking we lack intelligence. They look at our females, thinking they unelegant, and all our young dark males as soon to be predicates. So what I rep is the change in how the public view us. We really E-classes, but they view us as Buicks. We major and far from being close to minorities. So fuck money, changing their views my priority. Shout out to Pablo. We getting in there. He got me in the zone, baby.
Let's go. And I listen to Bills, like not like every day, but at least once a week I'm listening to Bills. Facts.
Blessings to you, Sig. Appreciate you.
Facts.
Appreciate the
real money. The real money. We got some
real money. The real money.
Some Duckin' Dineros.
But
y'all solidify, man. Y'all solidify forever, man. I appreciate y'all. I can't do no wrong on my eyes, man. When I told some of my homies I seen today and my Marine brethren, it ain't no wrong. Just always remember that. Like, and even for me, I hope it's the same way. Just let me know if I'm ever off my beam. But likewise, it ain't always love. And even if we all fall off, we here forever. I'm one of them type. I love loyalty. That's my whole thing.
Yes, sir.
And honesty.
That's what it's all about. You can't have like with me and Pablo, you can't be friends with someone that long without the loyalty. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Well, it made me think back to so the other day I was like looking this up because I was making a new thumbnail for the first time you came on Unscripted, and I took
we
new thumbnail, but
check it out. I put it up. It's
what
dope.
reminded me of it was the timing that you came on. So it was like right after that event happened. My battle didn't happen, but socials did, and it was like right at a point where a lot of people like turned on social for no reason, and like that
it was a great time.
It was a great time, but like the only regret really about that episode was how much time we spent talking about one mediocre battle card, because I felt like there was so much more we could have done. But it's still a dope episode and dope conversation. But it always struck me as like the timing of that episode and
I wish we had you on at a different time where we could have. But we'll definitely a Monday where you have the full 3 hours. Yeah. I definitely want to have you on here and we can talk about anything.
I'll probably be every Friday or Saturday at least. I'll give them I'll lock it in, because that's once I get a heads up, and I'm looking forward. So we definitely got to bring it back. I'm ready for one of those. So the first time I'll give y'all a heads up like that weekend before, something like that. It'll be before like last minute, like today.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 27 episodes. We gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love it.
You've been on multiple episodes, but I want to have you on here for a full episode.
Yeah.
And we got Crucial 13 coming up very soon.
Crucial.
Yeah, that episode is gonna be amazing. I have so much good questions for Crucial. I have a lot to talk about with him. It's gonna be dope.
I love it. I'm looking forward to it, man. Y'all are the greatest.
For a little period, for like a little period, it was like we were almost like, oh, we gotta get a guest, almost like not like, oh, and I'm not saying like the people we had on were like, oh, this would be dope, we'd like to have them on, but it said almost felt like a more of a like a mandate, like a necessity, like we need
right
type of shit. And then so I feel like so that's why we
a lot of them were feeling like interviews too,
right?
like,
and I feel like since we like moved away from that, and it's just been me and Social, the fact that since some of the episodes, like I've been like, you know, there's people I want to have on, but it's like, you know, it doesn't feel like you know, I guess the list is like shorter, but at the same
for
time,
sure.
it's like I want guests on the show too, you know,
Yeah,
not like necessity.
absolutely.
Like certain people I like their takes on things, and
definitely need to get Bruce on an episode soon.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I just wanted to make sure I just show some love. I keep saying I gotta.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's
no.
Probably.
No. I'm saying no. I just wanted to make sure I show some love to the ring too. It's been a minute, and like I said before, I said today I got to make sure before I leave I send some love. Shout out to the ring. I'm looking for like I don't.
We appreciate you, man.
The innovation and collectiveness that y'all doing and interacting with the chat, y'all got me hype. I'm a fan. I told you, like, I love to learn, so I kind of really bonded with Sigma from what that whole straight edge movement was and all that. When he broke that, like, that was a monument for me. And and I got a whole thing that I'm doing because of that. So I'm honored for that. Whatever the reason was that inspired him. So when I seen Sigma, I like what y'all doing already. But the fact that it's like, oh, this is putting people like you, Sigma could just randomly just come up and that gave me goosebumps. I love that. Fresh Coast, what Fresh Coast just did. And I already knew Fresh Coast in the chat from how his hip hop knowledge was and all that. And I'm seeing him back to back, and this is fire. I love what's going on. Brick Street Sprite holding it down. What y'all doing with the trailers? It's fire. It's potent hip hop reactions. All of y'all, everybody in the chat, do y'all thing, man. I appreciate it. Let's keep this going. If I got time, I'm about to definitely head out. But if I got time, I'm gonna I'll come right back, or I'll be in the chat, whatever, and I'll just let you know.
Yeah, you can definitely pull back.
Absolutely pull back up. I got a story to tell.
I'm home every time. I appreciate y'all for that.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, blessings, y'all. Habibi, Duko Kumoja.
Hey,
salute,
thank you.
Salute, and thank you for your service. But yeah, what he was just saying, man, I feel like I don't know. I mean, obviously, Virtual went through like a entire like I don't even know what the word would be. A massive overhaul has happened in Virtual, and I see some newer leagues, some older leagues coming back doing their thing, and shout out to that. But it does seem like it's just the same names that there's always been.
Here's the thing, Pablo. There's too much division in the community for virtual battle rap to really thrive, because you have people who
I don't even know if there is a community anymore.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So certain people won't battle certain places, which that means certain matchups can't happen, and it's not good.
It's just turned into all the issues with mainstream battle rap. It happened in virtual, basically.
Right.
Honestly, right. But the only difference is, at least in mainstream battle rap, there is at least still people that, like, when we went to that KOTD card, like, there's at least people that would still go and support and watch this shit. The thing with this, quote unquote community is that it is smaller, and with the amount of division, it felt like it got completely gutted.
Well, that's the thing with how, like you said, with how small it is, there's no room for that much division.
There isn't.
Yeah, at all. It's not like you can have. It's not like major battle rap where you can have, going back to your point, where you can have URL, RBE, King of the Dot. It can't be like that.
Right. So it's like, like
it can be, but
right. Competition is usually a good thing. It makes it, like, other people have to be as good. So it's like whoever has the best quality.
But the rosters aren't strong enough.
Yeah. It's not about competition. Competition's fine. But it's not competition in the sport. It's not even, I'm trying to think of another word for, I guess, divide, but it's like, it's not competition. It's me versus you, X versus Y. And it's not, the community is not big enough to be split, and it's not just split in half. It's not like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. So it's like, oh, Raw and SmackDown. It's not. It's split into 13 different like fucking separate things, and each one has 20 people, and it's like that's not enough to support a movement. It just isn't.
Especially like we said with the community this small, it needs to be like, even I don't know. There was a time when OG Capri wasn't gonna take a battle because it was happening on a depths league, because he felt like he wasn't gonna be welcome over there because And what battle was that? That was like
the Latin Pain one.
The Latin Pain battle, which ended up being an amazing battle. So, you know, that type of stuff, creating that division, and the problem is too, is people that been here, when new people come in that they kind of know or they kind of helped bring in or whatever, they tell them basically who they don't like. They're like, oh, watch out for this person, but it's not
this person. Don't fuck.
Right. It's like, so that's why that stuff happens a lot of the time.
People want to take credit for other people's talent. People want to pigeonhole what battle rap is, especially virtual battle rap, and you know, they put it into these boxes and they say, oh, whatever I don't like, it is, you know, and it doesn't even, it's like not even a logical reason. It's just like, oh, these people, no, it should only be this, and this. And it's like, it just makes it smaller and smaller and more narrow and more niche. And like I said before, a lot of the people that were watching, they were only watching, I feel like, because of the channel it was on, because like, oh, we support this person. And if they stop doing battle rap content tomorrow, they could give a fuck less.
Mm-hmm.
They're not there for the battles, or so, you know, it's just I don't think there is a virtual battle rap community.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I really only watch one virtual battle rap league.
Yeah.
And if there's an event happening where, say, like Innovate's battling, so I'll make sure I catch that battle. But like
people,
but really, and it's not because of any hate towards anybody else, but their cards just aren't as good.
Yeah, and I'm not reaching in my pocket to pay for a pay-per-view if it's like, you know, not worth it in my head.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And $10, like, no, sorry.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, and if it's a good card and it's a fair price, I have no problem paying for it and supporting it. But there's only a couple people that can put on decent cards, and I think everyone knows who I'm talking. The two people I'm talking about.
I think a pivotal moment came when people were literally paying money for battles not to happen, like sabotaging that. I feel like that was a pivotal like turning point and made it just like mainstream. Now it's like, now we're blocking virtual bat, like, you know what I mean? Just little stuff like that. You let it become the thing you hate, and it's like, ugh, you know. But anyway, like the ring. So basically, our whole point with this is the ring. We're just trying to bring the fun back to it, the new, refreshing. The fact that, like we said, like Brick Street came up, had a stand up before. Like I'd rather watch that or be involved in that than,
because these guys. Okay, sorry to cut you off, but it's because these guys have no agenda, other than coming up there and rapping, right? They have no outside, they have no other motive. They're just there to rap. There's no bullshit, there's no fucking drama. They're just here to rap.
Over here. That's what you say. Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't see an issue with that. I'm like,
no. I'm saying over.
Yeah, no, of course. That's the thing. It's like,
that's why
I thought that's what we were here to do.
Yes,
rap, and I thought we were fans of rap, and you know, but also, like I was saying, it's like it was just a lot of the same names on every card, and it's like, I made a joke the other day. I was like, "Oh, it's Greg the Great versus Greg the Great." It's like, but
Right,
it's like
right.
for real, bro. Every
No
card I
shade
see-
to Greg the Great, but
no, it's just like insert name. It could
honestly,
be,
the last like 5 cards I've seen announced for virtual, I swear Rio is on them. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Rio, and these are people I fuck with even too, like Rio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Iroh's
But
dope.
it's not somebody I want to
it's-
see. Honestly, like they're gonna oversaturate themselves
Facts. That's what I'm
doing
saying.
that though.
It's the same names on every card. Just
Yeah.
rearrange them, and that's the problem. We were saying the main problem with mainstream, but even URL. It's like every card, even the battles that haven't happened yet. You're looking, you're like, didn't this battle already happen? Just 'cause
Right.
the same names are on the card every time. You're just rearranging them.
I'm so sick of seeing Twerk, Nitty, and Geechee. So
Twerk,
sick of
Nitty,
it.
Geechee, T-Top, John the
John
Hitman
Hall.
like it's
yeah,
like
I'm sick of it.
People like
it's like every couple
it's like
every couple years it changes, you know what I mean? Like, but it's for that couple years, it's or 2-3 years, it's like the exact same people, and it's been Geechee and Twerk for the last however many years, and Rum, and it's like, dude, I'm so tired of it. So I was watching a tournament. I was watching the Power Moves event, and honestly, I did. As I'm watching the event, I watched Av and A-Ward. Didn't care at all about the battle. Then I watched and then I watched. Well, A-Ward did terrible. I don't like him either. But Av won the battle. But I just didn't care. And then the next battle happened. I don't even remember what it was. Didn't care. Big K versus Twerk happened. Didn't even care. And then after the first round of and Big K versus Twerk was a decent battle. They were saying Big K won, but I mean Twerk won, but he choked mad times. But
yeah, I saw Big K posted on like Twitter. He's like, "This is the most biased crowd I've ever dealt with."
Yeah. It was a terrible crowd. And then Hitman Geechee, right? So this is Saturday night, right? So I'm sitting here chilling, and I'm luckily the event started early, and now it's like 7:30, and it's the end of the first, right, of the main event. And I was just like, I'm done with this. I wanted to watch a movie or something. I was like, I'm just so done with this event. But let me say this. Geechee and Hitman both had a good first round. Like, it wasn't like it was a bad. They were both really good in their first round. I just was battle wrapped out from before.
Yeah, you get battle rap fatigue, bro, and that comes back to like too many battles on one card. It's like,
and the event went quick, and it started early, and I just still didn't like care because I think it was the matchups. Like, I didn't really care about the matchups. I didn't, but the Big K versus Twerk was a okay battle. Like, Big K wasn't the best Big K I ever seen, but he definitely won. Hitman and Geechee did go crazy in that first, and I heard that the second and third were really good too. I think I might have watched some of Geechee's second, but I don't think so. But Geechee got into the whole like how he lied about his Cinnamon getting hit, so that was pretty crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Even though it was good, I still I was like, I'd rather watch a movie or something. I don't want to continue to watch, and also because Geechee's first round was like 10 minutes long. I was like, and Hitman's was long too, and I was like, I'm not sitting through 3 rounds of this.
Yeah,
but I do want to watch it, but I'll wait till it drops.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't even care. Honestly, even talking about it right now, I'm like, nah. Like, that's just how little I give a fuck about battle rap right now. But.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy to me that that we're even involved in like putting on battles, but the way that we're doing it with artists that they don't know each other. It's like kind of old school. They don't really know anything about each other. They're just coming here to rap. Robs and Brick Street don't know nothing about each other. Sick Mosh and Fresh Ghost don't know nothing about each other. You know, like
Yeah,
Kid
it's
Dangerous, and
bringing back the
it's
feel,
bringing back that feel.
rap.
And
Like, it's almost like a cipher type of shit, you know.
I'm telling you, this main event is gonna be something to see. It's gonna be something to see for sure.
I already know it. But so some things happened since our last episode.
Okay.
You know, we have a newly elected president, and okay, I don't want to get into politics or anything. Really.
I don't either.
I just want to say this is that it is strange to me when people go like, you know, regardless of who you were hoping for, and you know, like, it's strange when I see people go, well, when everything falls apart, and I hope it does. Like, you hope the America gets shittier. You hope everything crumbles. Why? So you can say "nana nana boo boo, I told you so." Like,
yeah, it's these
I don't-
20-something-year-old liberals, dude. I can't even. This is a
Yeah.
conversation I don't even want to get into
No,
because it works me up
don't
so much.
understand like the hoping and wishing for the downfall of a country you live in.
Yeah,
is
it's
just strange to me,
ridiculous. It's sad. It's
you know?
honestly sad
And I feel like,
because you're that lost.
right, like, the thing is, the word I hear the most from a specific side is like intolerance, right? But it's like, I was always very like liberal growing up, and you know, there's a saying, it's like,
Well,
if you're not
liberals now are different than
right, so there's a saying, and it's like, if you're not a liberal when you're young, you don't have a heart. If you're not conservative when you're older, you don't have a brain. And I think there is some truth to that. Like, I understand
there's some truth to that.
The caring about people, the wanting to solve like other issues, like, yeah, like, you know, they always say, oh, bleeding heart, and it's like, I get it, to have a heart for people, like, you know, you don't want homeless people, like, you know, if you can help these, you know, less fortunate, it's like, of course, yeah, that's a good thing. But at the same time, it's like I just think the American people felt looked down upon and like forgotten. You know, the average person, the fucking price of groceries, the price of gas, like,
well, a lot of them are
issues
kids
that
didn't know what it was like 6 years ago, 8 years ago. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like,
that's true.
they have no clue what to compare it to. So that's why they're so. And I'm gonna say this too, like, a lot of them crying about the election. You know why they're crying about the election? Because when we were that age, we weren't crying when the person we wanted to win lost. I'm gonna tell you why.
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna tell you the exact reason why people, these 20-some-year-olds, 18 to 20, young early 20s, were crying after this, is because of participation trophies. Growing up, not knowing what it is to lose,
to take an L,
and then something as big as this, you lose, or your side, what you voted for, loses. You don't know how to handle it. See, that I knew that participation trophy thing was gonna be an issue for when those kids got older. Because then you need to know how to take an L. You need to learn that early in life.
And it's crazy because I see everything I've seen after, like, post-election, is like, you know, all these talking heads. I haven't seen one person go, oh, you know what, maybe, because if you look at like the not only like the popular vote, you know, if you look at the actual groups, and here's another thing I hate when they say like Latino voter, like, bro, you can't categorize every American that votes how they feel on a specific issue into one group based like on race. And I feel like that's where they got lost, is they're like, oh, we cater to women and we cater to immigrants. But it's like, bro, like, you don't understand the individual. And I feel like that is where they got lost. And it's crazy just because I see a lot of post-election is not going, oh, you know what? Why did we lose? And maybe we should look back and readjust. Maybe it's because Kamala literally had interviews where she got asked 10 questions and answered none of them. Maybe it's because she never once said any policy that she was, like nothing.
Maybe actually do some research about what Trump did while he was president from 2016, because a lot of people say, COVID happened, and COVID happened in 2019. He was president for 3 years. So before COVID happened, he was president for 3 years. So I don't understand. Like, we didn't get any checks or anything before that point. And I'm gonna tell you, I was in the best financial position I had ever been in my life when he was president.
Facts. But B702 just said the whole campaign was and I seen it. Trump even played like a clip of her. They cut out all the times that she said Trump, Donald Trump, just from every interview. It wasn't about what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. It was just like, and not only did she say, at least I'm not Trump, at least I'm not Trump, she also said, I'm not Biden. Her entire campaign was, I'm not Biden, I'm not Trump. Yeah. It's like, then who are you? We don't know who you are.
Right. Tell us who you are. Don't tell us who you're not. Tell us who you are.
She was literally an empty suit. And what I don't want to say scares me. It's like, what's silly about it is, from what I've seen, no one is learning the lesson of, maybe we weren't speaking to the average American person. Maybe that's why everyone is just like, I saw this New York Times piece about why we need to double down on identity politics. What? That's the message you took from this? Not that you went so far out and you're not talking to the actual American people anymore. Your takeaway is that you need to play more. Literally, this lady said, no, we need to play the game. We need to play the game. What Trump did, he did even more identity politics. He spoke to the white people. And it's like, really? Is that why you got 40% of the Latino vote? Is that why more like black men voted? So they're not learning. Like, back to the point of not learning from the loss.
Right. And like I said earlier, for these young kids, they grew up getting participation trophies, don't know what it's like to take an L. So an L this big, they're fucking massive. Their whole world, like
one of the
crumbles.
Biggest L's in history, bro.
Right. So their whole world crumbles. But
it's just crazy that immediately
I blame participation trophies.
Their answer to that is that everyone's a misogynist. Everyone, even the women.
They're all
have internalized misogyny. Even the Latinos have internalized racism.
Right.
And they have issues with blacks. And they were like, maybe it's just that they want their groceries to be cheaper. Maybe it's that the thing is, people that come here legally, they're the ones most upset with illegal immigration. They just think that all immigrant. It's like, no, legal immigrants dislike illegal immigration because they came here legally. They had to wait. They did it the right way.
Correct. They did it the right way.
They're affected the most because people that live by the border, when these Venezuelan gangs come in and the cartel comes in, killers and rapists just come in here and making all this money and shit. And it's like, they can't even afford groceries yet, literally. And again, it's like, I'm not sitting there preaching to people. Like, my whole takeaway is like, I feel like people should come together and hope and like, I don't know. Back to I want to say the intolerance. So every person that I know that voted
right, 702.
Everyone I know that voted left, like I don't know any like conservatives that like cut family members off that didn't vote their way. I think the problem with the other side is that I see more and more and more of, I stopped talking to this family member because he has different views than I do. He voted differently. That's
people
America.
Were saying I'll never talk to my parents again.
Exactly.
But if you notice, they're all young people.
I know. So the problem is they are the most intolerant. I think in their mind, if the end justifies the means. So it's like if what I believe in is so righteous that if you're not on board and you're not actively, even people that didn't vote for the right, if you didn't vote at all, you're also a part of the problem. And now it's like it's just this massive not only intolerance, but it's a if you're not on our side, it doesn't. I can cut you off. I can verbally assault you. I can physically assault you. Anything we do is justified because we are right, and that's disgusting to me. But
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
you know, I just don't understand not learning a fucking thing from a massive loss like this to turn around and just call everyone racist and misogynist. So the majority population in America is
and hold on,
racist?
let
Like,
me say this,
about, bro.
yeah, true. And
You're
let me
lost.
say this, I like every single person I heard them jump to, he's a felon, he's a felon. I wanted to ask every single one of those people, what are his charges? Because I guarantee you don't know.
Yeah, they have.
I guarantee you don't even know what his charges are. So why even go there? Why? I even heard one person call him a rapist. I'm like, what? Whoa! When did that happen? When did those allegations come out? Like,
well, what's crazy? So you brought up like charges, right? So what's crazy to me is you know, Kamala literally said her proudest moment was getting a sex change operation for a convict.
yeah.
And that's what they want to spend your money. They want to take your money.
Yes.
And
that is
for transition surgeries for convicts.
That is 100% facts. They wanted to legalize that. So your money would go if somebody wanted to transition and that's in prison. So that means somebody could like commit a crime, go to jail, and say, I want to get an operation, get it done for free, do their little 3 months and then go home. Like that's insane. So yeah, like I said, man, if I said this on my live yesterday or last week or whatever, if the people that if she became president in a year, they would be begging for Trump, begging.
Oh, we would not. If she won, we would not be sitting here going.
I said that too.
When it all falls apart, and I hope it does.
Yeah,
like,
I
no,
said that
I would
too.
never hope for that.
I said that too, and we wouldn't
have
called out of work either.
No. But what's crazy, another thing is that people forget. Like, you know, she kept saying, "When I get into office, it's like you're in office right now." What do you mean? What's stopping you? You're in office right now. Why don't you go home and do it? Go back to the White House right this second and do what you say you're going to do. Trump, I mean, Biden was nowhere to be seen. He was like Weekend at Bernie's. They propped him up. He's a dementia patient. The last year he was in there, he did nothing. Was like barely seen.
Right, he was like Weekend at Bernie's. That's
literally Weekend at Bernie's, propping him up. And literally her entire thing. When I get in office, it's like you're in office right now. You want to do these things? Go do them. What are you talking about? But what's crazy is the one issue that I will never understand the left's take on is the it's the same party that's like, it's the My Body, My Choice movement, right? Everything's about women, everything's about women's rights, except for when it comes to women's sports.
Right. Oh yeah, I know.
Women, there's a reason the same people that will say, oh, there's a reason we separate men and women's sports. So the fact that you go, oh well, trannies can I'm sorry, trans people, which by the way, when they say like it's the same people that go, well, what's the difference? There's no differences between men and women. Yeah, it's like, okay, so what's a trans? It's transitioning from what to what?
Right.
I'm a trans man, so you do know what a man is.
You
are trans.
All right.
So I'm just saying
we can move past
that. It's like that. You start to just lose all logic. It's like, that's fine. You want to compete, like, okay, but the UN came out with a thing that said 900 women were robbed of trophies to trans men.
Yeah,
in athletics. That's just one thing I don't understand.
No, it's unacceptable.
If you care so much about women's rights, why would you allow this to happen? Why?
It's absolutely unacceptable.
Like, I just don't get it.
And I want to go back
I'm not
to B702's
transphobic or
point.
whatever the fuck. Just take why are they forced to compete when the whole thing is there is men's and women's. There's a reason we separate them. There's a reason men aren't competing with women.
Right, because and these men that turn into women that compete as women, they wouldn't make it as a man, and you know what I mean. So they have to do it as a woman,
right? And
but
it's like,
I
if
want to
there's
go
no
back
difference, then why don't you just compete against the men? Because
right.
that's not fair.
Yeah.
Isn't that so? People, my main point is people that transition after puberty. Like, that's insane to make them compete again. And you could see it when the women are standing at the podium that came in second and third,
It's so sad
that got
you
robbed.
had to say
you could just
after
tell by their
puberty.
body language. Their body language alone is they're uncomfortable. They don't want to be in the locker room with that. They fight and compete their whole lives and train really hard just to get robbed by a trans. And it's like, you're supposed to be the party of women's rights. And it's like, back to they're just
It's
like,
sad that you had to say
them.
after puberty, by the way.
Yeah, it is sad, but it's like the Democratic Party is just they've gone so far to the point they've lost all logic and reasoning. And again, from someone that grew up more liberal, it's just like, I was hoping to see maybe this would, like, get some, like, knock some sense into them. And but well, it's like, okay, if they're not going to learn anything from it, they're going to double down like they're just going to keep losing elections.
It's because
they're
Pablo,
going to lose next time too.
Pablo,
Like, I don't
it's
know what to
because
tell you.
bro, it's different times, man. Like,
right, this shouldn't even be a question. This shouldn't even be an issue. It shouldn't even be a thing of like, oh, this is a sensitive topic to even talk about in a podcast. It's crazy that we even have to have these conversations. That men should not be competing against women in sport. This is stuff we knew from the fucking Stone Ages. Like, what are we talking about, bro? It's insane.
Men should not be competing.
And I'm sorry, but sports. I love women.
There's probably some women that could There's probably some women that could compete in men's sports.
Right. But that doesn't mean they should be forced to.
No. They shouldn't be forced to. But men,
I just think
regardless
that's
if they transition,
one of the biggest issues that I don't understand their take on it. For me, I just don't get how they can't see that might be an issue for some women.
Oh, they see it's an issue, but they don't care because it benefits them. But I want to highlight.
They just push they were banking on just saying over and over that we'll get the women's vote just by this issue. But yeah, we can move on from that. I want to the stuff that just blew my mind. Like, main takeaway, who gives a fuck? And by the way, I'm gonna say it right now, I didn't vote. So I'm not sitting there like, oh, I voted for whatever. I live in a blue area. I knew, Massachusetts, pretty much. I knew my vote was not gonna make a difference. But at the same time, I don't care.
Yeah, my state didn't win either, but my town did.
Like, not hope for the downfall of America. Let's hope our groceries get cheaper and that we don't get into wars. And it's
gonna happen. We're good.
Everyone could be a little less crazy, and don't cut your family members off because it's America. Everyone has a right to believe what they believe and vote for who they want to vote for. It's called emotional blackmail to say, I'm going to punish you. And
they want to be able to do all these things and want people to accept it, but they never want to accept what anyone else is doing.
Right.
It's insane.
One of the main things too is the last point I'll make is what I don't like is they always say like, oh, my body, my choice. Also, my pronoun. I want to force you to call me by what I want to be called. But then those same people go birthing persons or cis men. Like, whoa. So now not only do you determine what I call you, but also you determine what you call me. So it seems like you just want to make the rules. You just want to be entitled.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Is what it is. It's like it's not about compassion. It's not about tolerance. You want to be in charge and you want to decide what I call you. If you don't like it, you'll hold me emotionally hostage. and like,
Look, I've
be
been said
attacked.
this. It's not about equality. It's about betterment. They want more. It's not about equality. It's never been about equality. Once
Right.
it became equal, they wanted more and more and more and more. But they don't want you to have anything.
Right. Not even the right
An
to
opinion.
be called what I want to be called.
Right.
It's like, listen, if I'm going to be tolerant enough and compassionate enough to say, oh, you want to be called a ma'am? Like, okay, in my everyday life, I'm not going to be mean to an individual. That's fine. But like on a grander scale, should we teach children that biology is wrong? I don't think so. It's kind of strange. But also, if I am compassionate enough to do that for you, why do you now call me a cis man or a woman a birthing It's like at the same time they want to be treated respectfully. They are so degrading and disrespectful to other people. It's just,
and let me just say this: if someone ever called me a cis male to my face, I would punch you. So don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. Don't ever come to me in my face and say those words to me, because you will get hit.
Because
Fair
obviously
warning.
they know the differences between men and women, but just by the name itself, trans this, trans that. So it's like, so yeah, you trans man. It's like, oh, so you do know the difference because you were this before. If there was no difference, why do you have to transition? You wouldn't. If they're the same, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
but
once you go down the rabbit hole, it just loses all logic and reasoning, and they're basically, okay, end point. I think everyone should be more compassionate and tolerant and less hateful. And I think,
of course,
the more intolerance, incompassion, and hate, the most that I see, it is from one side to another. And it's just kind of sad.
Yep. It is. It is sad.
You know?
But yeah, B702.
We're all Americans, and we should all strive to get along and hope for the best for everyone. Like they say, rising, what is it? Whatever, tide rises all ships or whatever, you know, like,
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, 702. I don't know if they're gonna.
It is what it is. And also, guess what?
I don't care how people feel.
I don't care either. I want to say, guess what? Your triggers are your responsibility and accountability to navigate. It's your responsibility to navigate your own triggers within this world, not anyone else's.
Correct. All right, I want to get into this story, but I just want to address 702's question, because that was the first question I asked. Would they, if they transition in prison, would they be transferred to the female prison or the male prison, whichever direction it would be? And the answer is yes. But being that it's Veterans Day, and shout out to MME and salute to him, and you know, I knew this guy, a friend of mine's grandfather. He lived to be 101. He was a veteran in World War II. And he has one hell of a story. So Charles Holtzman, he passed May 7th, 2021. But now this man, shout out to him. Let me get this page up. So there was an article about it. There was actually a DVD made. Well, I had the DVD, but it was he was actually on a PBS special.
Oh, damn, really?
Telling his story. Yeah. They wrote about him in a lot of the local papers. He was a local hero. Like, this guy did a lot of amazing things with his life. And I'm gonna read this story. It's not too long, but it's a very, very amazing story. So I'm gonna skip some parts, some personal details of his, because I don't know, I don't know. But so let's get into it. Age 20, shortly after he joined the army in 1940. So he joined the army in 1940, 20 years old. So at first it starts off talking about him as an old man and what he was doing at this time. He's since passed, obviously, like I said. Rest in peace to Charlie. But so Charlie is the kind of man that everyone at the Chelmsford Senior Center goes to for answers. Anytime anyone needs information or needs to know where to find something, he's the one who usually knows. Charlie has been the general manager of the Friends of the Chelmsford Senior Center for 35 years, since before the center even existed. He was an integral part of the fundraising that paved the way for the center to be built in 1989 and has continued to find ways to support in operations and programming. I just like to stay busy, he said, at 95 years old. He's not one for frills and recognition, and he's perhaps even more modest about his service during World War II. I was just one of thousands, Holtman says in the living room of his Crispin Avenue home in Lowell, while he and his partner enjoy their late afternoon martinis.
Nice, you earned it, bro.
Yeah. His partner gets annoyed when he tries to brush off any interest others have in his service. And she says, "But you were one of the ones who came back alive," she reminds him. So he was born in Brooklyn, November 20th, 1919. So in 1940, him and a close friend saw the writing on the wall with the increasing conflicts around the world that would eventually be known as World War II. They thought they'd outsmart the draft they were sure would come. They figured they would sign up for the army early, put their time in, and be out in a few years ready to join the workforce without going to war. So, but the war had other plans. Instead of 3 years, Charlie would spend 5 years and 15 days in the army, 2.5 years of which were spent as a prisoner of war.
Damn.
Yep. Charlie did his basic training at Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn, enlisted with a company, a 18th Infantry 1st Division. The same year, he and the whole division were sent to Fort Devens. It was while he was stationed there that he met his first wife. They planned to marry in the spring of 1942, but when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941, it was clear that Charlie would soon be sent overseas. They married on Christmas Day that year. He was a romantic too, this guy. Very, very, very interesting man.
Yeah, seems like it. 2 marriages. You got
3.
You got to be romantic to go through 2 and then still try again.
Right. So Charlie and his division embarked for Europe aboard the Queen Mary.
Okay.
Yep. Arriving in Scotland in August 1942. They spent time in England before traveling to Algeria on British ships. The invasion of North Africa began that November. While in St. Cloud in Algeria's Oran province, Charlie had a close call. With machine gun fire spraying from the center of town, he went to find out if he could fire an anti-tank grenade to clear their path. As he stuck his head out to look, enemy fire took out the wall next to his head.
Damn.
Charlie was struck in the arm with a ricochet bullet, but it only burned his jacket. He said he wanted to keep it as a souvenir, but it was too hot to pick up. The troops headed toward Tunisia in trucks. Everything was fine until they hit Hill 609, which they were to take over from the British, Charlie said. But when they arrived, there were no British troops, just Germans firing down on them. So it was a trap. Visibility was poor. Charlie used his grenade rifle as a mortar and got down on the ground. The Germans shot at the grass with their weapons, and it disappeared in front of him. A bullet went straight through his collar, missing his head and neck.
Jesus.
Yep. It was December 23rd, 1943, and Charlie would begin his 2.5 years as a POW. As the German soldiers led him and other captured American troops to the German lines, Charlie had to help carry a German soldier that he had hit in the leg with the anti-tank grenade.
Jesus.
The young man cried for his mother the whole way back. He didn't make it, so the German soldier died. Charlie asked one of the German guards if it was okay to smoke and offered him a cigarette. The guard could have taken everything he had, but instead only took one cigarette and returned the pack to him. He was no happier to be there than I was, Charlie said. That's when you find out you're fighting an enemy that doesn't want to fight you either. Because these soldiers, man, they don't want to be there. 2 days later, the Germans turned him and the other prisoners over to the Italians. Now, keep in mind, one of the other prisoners that was with him was the friend that he was friends with since a kid that he went into the army with. He was a prisoner of war with that guy, and they remained friends until the day they died.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the friend died first, and then he died like not that long after, like maybe like a year. But they would meet every like twice a week for lunch or whatever. Or actually, it might have been every day. But because like they had so much, in common, it's crazy. But it says 2 days later, the Germans turned him and other prisoners over to the Italians. Charlie was sent to Sicily, where he would spend a month in prison camp in the mountains above Palermo. The conditions were very cold and food was scarce. While the German soldiers were respectful, the Italians were rough with the prisoners, Charlie said, sometimes shooting between their legs as they walked just for fun. He was then sent to another prison camp on mainland Italy in Cervigliano in the Marche. He spent 9 months there before he was able to escape through a hole in the wall. Traveled with 5 others and found a friendly family that fed them. In the daytime, they hid in a valley that had tiny caves on the side of a hill. But German paratroopers found them and returned them to the camp. Yep. They were then sent to Germany by train, eventually moving between 5 different camps. The first was desolate and they didn't stay long. A guard told them it was just for the J word and pigs.
Yeah.
That's what they said to them. And the others hadn't been aware of the concentration camps. He and the others hadn't been aware of the concentration camps. So at this time, they hadn't even been aware of the concentration camps at all.
Right.
But when the Russians were getting closer to the camp, they spent the most time. They evacuated and marched the prisoners 150 kilometers over icy terrain. Charlie slipped and suffered a muscle injury that sent pain shooting from his groin to his shoulder. From your groin to your shoulder? What the hell kind of? That's crazy. He couldn't walk any further and passed out from the pain. A German soldier ordered him to keep marching and stuck his rifle in Charlie's stomach. Charlie told him to shoot, that he was better off dead.
At that point, you're like, bro.
Yep. The German soldier didn't, but warned him that others who were coming wouldn't hesitate. 2 wheeled carts pulled up by mules came and transported Charlie and other injured prisoners back to the rest of the group. The Russians later took over the prison camp and planned to take the prisoners back to Russia to use as bargaining chips. American officers came through to check on the prisoners and told them that if they could escape, to meet up with search parties who would be out looking for American casualties. So the American soldiers were there and told them, like, hey, escape and just look for the search parties.
Right.
So one morning about 3 a.m., Charlie and another prisoner from his company, which was his best friend, snuck out and cut a hole in the wire fence. He doesn't remember what they used to do it. They hid in the brush until they saw the American trucks come through and flagged one down. When they finally reached the Elbe River, the pontoon bridges had been taken up and they couldn't get across. The Americans asked a Russian general if they could use his barge. He agreed, but only 6 people could fit at a time. Charlie was in the last group to cross the river onto the American lines. Boy, was I glad to reach the other side, he said. This is crazy. And like, he's not like a big guy. He wasn't a big guy back then either. And honestly, I think he was like a like engine repair guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up having to, like, he's the only one in the tank, and he's like, can I shoot this guy? Like, can I shoot them to clear a path? Like, you know what I mean? And that's what started the whole thing. So it's kind of crazy. So a few days later, Charlie was, it was May 8th, 1945, Victory in Europe Day. That's crazy that was the day that they actually escaped. A few days later, Charlie was flown to Le Havre, France, where he encountered then General Dwight Eisenhower. Damn.
What the dude? No wonder why they made a movie about this guy.
Right? I know. Who would later become president, obviously. Mm-hmm. He said Eisenhower slapped him on the back and said, "Damn good job, son." Charlie was finally able to return to Massachusetts that June and received an honorable discharge that August. He and his wife had 2 children and he became a civilian repairman at Fort Devens, where he worked for 25 years. After his wife died in 1980, Holtzman would remarry twice. He met his second wife at the senior luncheons that he ultimately became the inspiration to start a senior center. Oh, that's dope. And then she and his third wife have both died. And then he actually remarried again after that. So he was actually married 4 times.
Jesus.
But yeah, man. So this guy has a very interesting story, and I was lucky enough to have met him and multiple times and talked to him, and I actually sat down and had a conversation with him about this, but I wish I had been filming it, because the way he told the story was very, very different. Right. But yeah, so shout out to all the veterans, especially the ones that get stuck out and stuff like that. Like he said, I didn't want to be there, neither did the German soldier. So shout out to all the people who were forced into it and then got stuck in situations like that and actually survived it, because surviving a prison camp for 2.5 years, especially being constantly moved from country to country to country, like France, Russia, Germany. I feel like I'm forgetting one. There was like 4 different countries that he went to.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's crazy. So yeah, man, it's a wild story. I'm glad I got to get that off. It was a little long, but I feel like
yeah, bro, that was fire.
Man.
I didn't even want to say much because I was just listening, and it's like,
yeah, it's a great story, and I even forgot some of those details and stuff because it's been a while. He passed, like I said. Wait, when did he pass? I think it was July 2021 or something like that. Let's see, I got his obituary right here. Oh, his obituary actually says something really nice too. Yeah. Oh, May 7th, 2021, he passed away. Rest in peace to Charlie. He made it to 101. He was 101 years old when he passed away. Damn. So shout out to him. Yeah, so it says that let's see, he was employed at Fort Devens for 25 years, retiring from his position as office machine repairman. Charlie was a lifetime member of the Lowell Sportsman Club, the Lowell VFW, and the American Legion, post number 313 in North Chelmsford. He was also a member of the Chelmsford Elks. Charlie volunteered his time for 40 years as business manager and purchasing agent at Friends of the Senior Center, which we found out he actually created basically because he was doing it before it even started. So shout out to that, man. Shout out to Charlie, man. Shout out to Charlie.
Shout out to Chuds. That's fucking it's crazy.
That's a crazy story, right? So yeah, nice guy from Massachusetts, and lucky he made it back, man. Glad he made it back. And he ended up really really making something of himself, and ended up, you know, the guy was kind of, you know, not rich, but he was, you know, he had some money, so he got a little something, so he made money somehow. I don't know, but he did all right for himself when he got back from the war.
Right.
So shout out to him.
You're right, bruh.
But yeah, other than that, you know, shout out to all the veterans and thank y'all for your service.
Absolutely.
Now, Pablo,
Mm-hmm.
it's Leonardo DiCaprio's birthday.
Oh shit.
Now, Leonardo DiCaprio is probably my favorite actor. I've been said that for years.
He would probably be at a Diddy party right now. If
Well, I try not to think about that.
I know.
I try not to think about that.
Yeah.
So, but he is a great actor. So one of my movie recommendations, if not two of them, are going to be movies from him. But and we'll get into our first movie recommendation in a minute. But Pablo, guess who else's birthday it is? Somebody that you're gonna be celebrating tonight.
I don't know. You gotta tell me.
Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci.
Why am I gonna be celebrating it?
Stanley Tucci. You don't love him?
Well, the way you said it, like you're gonna be celebrating it tonight. Like, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
I stand corrected. I thought you
I don't know.
loved
Like,
him.
what the fuck? Yeah, sure. Okay.
I don't know. I thought you loved him. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. I got all the Stanley Tucci merch. I got the.
I stand corrected.
You Stanley Tucci corrected?
Yeah, I Stanley corrected. Oh man.
But no, Leo is one of the best actors. Has a lot of great movies and shit.
A lot of great movies, and I feel like he's in a lot of great movies that like people haven't seen. Like,
yeah, there's definitely some like This Boy's Life.
I was just gonna don't do that. I was just gonna say that.
The Man with the Iron Mask type.
Yep,
shit.
The Man with the Iron Mask. But This Boy's Life is actually, I believe it was his first role, but when he did this role, Robert De Niro said he grabbed him by the face or something. I can't remember the exact story, but he like grabbed him by the face and told him, "You got this, kid."
What the fuck?
And then like he told the producers and stuff like, "Yeah, this kid's it. Like he's, you know." And yeah, so I forget. I watched the interview with Leo and he was talking about that. But yeah, that's a great movie. It's a drama. It's definitely like a kind of sad movie, but it's a really, really good movie. But also like, I don't know. I still feel like Basketball Diaries is
that's
a very underrated movie.
I was just thinking about that the other day. The scene,
you know,
Lewis and shit, and she comes out to
Mark Wahlberg is in it, dude. Like I feel like it
itself.
Huh?
to playing himself.
Yeah. And I feel like that's I do feel like that's not a movie that a lot of people know about or just haven't seen. And if you haven't seen it, all right, for instance, I kept trying to get my girl to watch it, and she's like, I don't want to watch a movie about basketball. And I'm like, it's not
at
about
all.
basketball.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Like, yes, he's on the basketball team, and there's maybe like 2 scenes where they show basketball at all. Like, it's not that at all.
Right.
Great movie. It's one of the best movies. This is a movie that's like a damn near perfect movie.
The scene where he's like knocking the door, he's like, Ma,
Dude.
I need fuck you. I need $20, Ma. Can you do this?
You fucking bitch. Like,
he's like, Ma, it's your son.
It's your son,
Ma. I need
now,
$20.
a lot of people talk about how his character in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which was amazing. He did an amazing job, but I feel like people underplay what he did in Basketball Diaries.
Yeah, that's 100% fact.
Because that character, like he was like 15 playing a junkie. He didn't know nothing about being a junkie.
Right. I heard that, like, he talked to some dudes. I don't know if they were in like NA or whatever at the time, but like even that, just like being that young, just like talking to a couple dudes.
Yeah. And the makeup, the way, like, especially for 1993, I think is the year it came out, or 94. I think it was 93.
Like that, yeah.
But the makeup that they used to make them look fucked up, it looks real as fuck.
The fucking basketball coach, like,
oh man, what a piece of crap.
They picked the perfect dude to play.
They did. Like, they did.
Sort of Weasley face and shit. And I love when the kid like opens his hand with the pills. It's like, are these uppers or down? He's like, I don't know. He's like, but give me something. Like,
yep.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's a great movie. I love the
95. My bad, it came out in
The
95.
Aviator's a great Leo movie. I feel like
amazing movie.
Overlook that one. That's a great movie.
Yep, that is a really good movie, and it's also a true story.
Yeah, Howard Hughes, bro.
Howard Hughes. Yep, it's a true story about Howard Hughes.
Who said? I think it's a Bender bar. He's like, I'm a renowned reclusive on some Howard Hughes shit. Like, renowned reclusive on some Howard Hughes shit is fire.
Yep.
But yeah, we can get into your movie, unless that was one of them, the movie recommendations, I guess.
You know what? I still haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, me neither.
I want to. I just still haven't had a chance. But so here's what I'm gonna do. Because we just talked about Basketball Diaries and what was the other one?
Aviator.
Those are just amazing movies. You should go check those out. I was going to use Basketball Diaries as my recommendation, but I'm not going to. That's a great movie, though. Go watch that. That is a recommendation. Go watch that movie.
Okay, The Departed.
But what I am going to recommend, The Departed is amazing.
Yeah, Caesar didn't like it. I love that movie. Yeah,
I love that movie, too. The Beach. There's so many gangs in New York. There's so many. But Catch Me If You Can. Now this movie, it's a true story, but there's a lot of this movie that's Hollywooded up. Like, there's not like there's like scenes in the movie where like because Tom Hanks is trying to catch him, and like there's like they build like this like cop or FBI agent criminal bond kind of over the phone when they talk and stuff, and like it shows them talking on Christmas Day or whatever,
right.
And like I guess that never happened, and like a lot of the stuff like never happened, but the main outline of the movie, the main plot of the movie happened.
I have it right here if you want to pull it up.
And it is a great movie. I saw it in theaters and I loved it then. And what year did it come out? 90? or 2000,
2002. Yeah, I saw this in
2002.
theaters too. Did we see it together? I remember
Probably.
seeing it in theaters. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, so it came out in 2002. One of my favorite Leo movies. He does again an amazing. There's no movie with Leonardo DiCaprio that you can say he didn't do his job.
Right. Yeah. From that I've seen.
From what I've seen.
So it says here, barely 17 yet, Frank is a skilled forger who has passed as a doctor, lawyer, and pilot. FBI agent, who's Tom Hanks. Carl becomes obsessed with tracking him down, the con man. Who only revels in the pursuit. Directed by Steven Spielberg. It's got Christopher Walken.
Yep.
Yeah, some great. James Brolin, Natalie Bay, Amy Adams, Martin Sheen.
Yep.
A lot of good. Jennifer Garner. Like,
it is such
Banks. Damn, I didn't know she was in this.
Yeah, it is such an amazing movie. So definitely
it's on Paramount
go watch that.
Plus, Amazon Prime. Oh, Pluto. You can probably watch it for
Yeah.
free. Pluto. So.
And it's I would probably rate that movie like a
8.5, 9.
I was just gonna say 8.5 or a 9. So I'm gonna go like a 8.7. But it is
up there. I remember like it's just
it's one of them ones, and it holds up because I watched it like probably within the last year or two, and it definitely holds up.
Yeah. Fire.
Yep.
Great movie.
And I watched Detour, by the way, your recommendation from last year. And I had seen, I did see it before, but I just didn't remember it. But yeah, I did rewatch it. It was good.
Yeah, good, solid movie. Yeah, Catch Me If You Can. This is it's a classic. It's a great like little adventure you go on. You build some like empathy for the characters. It's great chemistry, performances. It's just like a fun watch.
It is like an adventure for sure.
So, all right, mine, which I actually didn't have any, but I know a lot of good movies, so I'm just gonna pick one.
Yeah, just pick.
Most people probably never seen. It's called Blue Ruin, and it's directed by Jeremy Saltnier, the guy who made Green Room. He did Hold the Dark and stuff. You might have seen some of his work. It's got he has this dude in a lot of his movies. Macon Blair, you might have seen him before, but this is an under the radar sleeper like thriller classic. I mean, I guess it's like you call it. It's a crime drama thriller kind of.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Really? Oh
No,
my god, I
haven't seen that.
2013's Blue Ruin. It's just it has this like this atmospheric, like just the way it builds tension, and it's like I don't know, it's very unique. Like there's not a lot of movies I've seen like this. So basically the plot is a mysterious outsider's quiet life is turned upside down when he returns to his childhood home to carry out an act of vengeance. Proving himself an amateur assassin, he winds up in a brutal fight to protect his estranged family. So basically, without giving too much away, like it starts right off, like someone's being released from prison and he's not happy about it. So he sets out for revenge. And basically it's like who this person is, why he wants the revenge, that person's family, and then his family who he hasn't talked to in a long time. And like they might be put in the crosshairs, like, if he goes through with what. So it's it's just one of those movies where it's like the tension, the atmosphere, like some of the cinematography is great, the performances, like it's just like it's gripping. It's a thrill ride for sure.
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Some of the scenes, like some of the, he's very like, I don't know, it's just the way this guy does the performance. He's like very quiet, like a lot of the movie is like, it's not so much. I like how they did it because it's not like some voiceover. It's not like, oh, internal dialogue. It's not even external dialogue, like him explaining to someone else. A lot of the movie is just this guy's expressions, and you can tell like what's going through his mind and stuff with the situation just based on his like expressions and body language and stuff. So a lot of it is just the performance that this guy is giving in this movie. And yeah, it's amazing if you've never seen it. And some of the scenes when it does get violent, it's like, oh my God. Like, so I actually haven't seen it in a while. It's been probably a couple of years. 2013's Blue Ruin, and it's on a bunch of shit. Freevee, Flex, Pluto, like those are Tubi, like all these free ones you can watch it. So I would definitely recommend if you never.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I won't have time tonight, but I'm gonna watch that tomorrow.
Great movie. Great movie.
Word.
So.
Word. I have a great movie recommendation for next week. I'm gonna save it for next week, but we'll do another one before we end the show. But
okay,
I got a amazing one for next week. Actually, it's one I know you've seen it.
Okay.
A lot of people probably haven't. So, but
did you have other stuff you wanted to get into? Or?
Let me see. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you?
I mean, they're just random, so none of it's like
mine too. So I have I have a funny short lockup story.
Yeah, go
if
for
you
it.
want it. All right. So and it's funny because I just remembered this the other day, and so when I was locked up as a juvenile, there were 2 showers, right? So only 2 people got to shower at a time because 1 person per shower. That we didn't all shower together. It was 1 person per shower. But anyway, so you had to sign in to which shower you were using.
Mm-hmm.
And what time. So if anything happened, they knew who did it or whatever. So there was this kid, and he was leaving the next day. It was his last night. Okay. Mm-hmm. And me and him showered at the same time, different showers. I was in shower 2. He was in shower 1.
Hey, yo, pause. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they're not even in the same room.
No, I know.
They're not even in the same room.
People are wild.
Yeah, no. It's 2 separate bathrooms. So, anyway, well, when they signed us in, they accidentally signed me into the shower he was in and signed him into the shower I was in. Okay. Now, normally this wouldn't be a problem, but this kid decided to, because it was his last night, take a shit.
Oh my God.
In the shower. Okay. So after my shower, I'm in the TV room. We're all just in the TV room, whatever. And they come in, and one of the big bosses comes in and looks at the shower list, and they call me over. And now, mind you, when they take you to the shower, somebody walks you over, so they know what shower you got in. Well, the guy that walked me to the shower, he wasn't in the room. So when I walked over there, they were like, "You shit in the shower?" I was like, "No, I didn't." "What the hell are you talking about?" And they're like, "You were in shower 1, you shit in the shower." I was like, "No, I was in shower 2." Whatever. Mm-hmm. They're not believing. And in my mind, I'm thinking the guy that walked me to the shower, this guy went home for the day. Maybe I hope not, because I've already gotten in enough trouble, and
right,
because I had gotten into mad fights at the beginning when I first went in there, and this was still kind of early on. So well, they started like they grabbed me and they took me out. They were bringing me in to take me to my room or whatever. And we see the other guard, and I was like, yo, yo, yo. And I was like, tell them that I was in shower too. And he's like, what the? He didn't know what was going on. I guess he was on break or something. So he had no idea what was even going on. So like, so they explained it to him and stuff. And he's like, oh no, yeah, he was in shower too. Da, da, da. So that kid ended up, so remember, it was his last night. No, it wasn't his last night. He got he got 3 more months. Dumb
What a
shit.
dumb fuck.
So dumb, dude. Why would you do something?
You the shower shitter.
Right? Like, what the hell? I couldn't believe I almost got blamed for it. But yeah,
That's
dude,
crazy, bro.
it was insane. It was insane.
I heard someone, who was it? Oh, Joey Diaz, which like he can be kind of funny sometimes. He's annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you're not Italian. But
right.
he talked about one time. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, you never sit in the shower, and I stomp it down.
Yeah, I heard that.
What
I'm like, what the
fuck, bro? That's disgusting.
What are you talking about?
That's insane.
Yeah, that is
insane behavior. Like,
that's wild. But I was
good
like,
thing you got your name cleared. You never be want to known as the shower shitter.
Yeah, nah, I definitely didn't want to be known as a shower shitter. I was so
might
mad.
be the resonator, but I'm definitely not the shower shitter.
Yeah. So like when I was so this was probably my second month, and in my first 2 months there, I probably got into like 5 fights because two specifically I'll tell you about real quick because they're quick ones. But so it was probably my second week. Yeah, it was early. It was like my second week, and when we went in and brushed our teeth, there was 2 sinks, and there was 2 lines, right? And you're like, there's the line goes from in the bathroom from the sink out into the hall, right, or whatever. But so
yeah.
I'm in the bathroom. I'm not next, but there's one more person in front of me, and then so I'm standing in line, and I feel someone someone brushes my ass. So I like turned around, right? So I turned around and I'm thinking like someone probably bumped me or something. But either way, I turn around and the kid smiled at me. So so you remember they're probably still saying like the concrete walls in like schools and prisons. Those kind. So that's what they were at, dude. I smashed his head into the wall. His head hit the wall, and then I just kept punching him and his head just kept hitting the wall while I was hitting him. And there was a guard standing right there and didn't even grab me for like till I hit the dude like 5-6 times, and then he finally grabbed me. But then the real so there was this one kid who was in there, and he was 17. And he was about to be 18, and he was going to real prison. And what he was in there for was something very serious. And he comes over to me and he sits next to me. And this is probably maybe like a month in, maybe like, I don't know, 3 weeks in. This was still early too.
Right. Yep.
And he sits next to me. Right. And now we're not allowed to tell each other why we're in there. We're not allowed to tell each other's charges. And for this reason. So the kid sits next to me and he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. How you doing? Whatever. I was like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, do you want to know why I'm in here? And I was like,
fucking kid dangerous.
Right. I know. Right. So I'm like, I mean, I don't really care, we're not supposed to really tell each other, but like, if you feel like you got to get it off your chest or something,
I feel like you're gonna tell me either way. So okay.
Right. So go for it. Like, and he says to me, I raped a 14-year or a 12-year-old boy.
What the fuck? fuck?
It was
Why
either, I can't remember if it was 12 or 14, but it was
so
one.
confidently asked him, "Do you want to know? You want to know what I did? Like, what is he getting off on reliving? Like, what?
I
don't understand, bro.
I
don't get it.
I beat the ever living shit out of this fucking kid. And
Good. Like,
no,
what-
I'm getting like goosebumps talking about it, but I hit him so hard the first time. I know I knocked him out, but I just kept
Mhm.
going. And but anyway, a few days later, he was turning 18. So it was the night before he was turning 18, and I was in the room next to him, and he was screaming, crying the whole time because he knew what was gonna happen to him when he goes to that, because he was going to state prison. And state prison, the state prison in New Hampshire, even though New Hampshire might be a nice state and stuff, the state prison here is nothing sweet. Trust me. I wasn't in there, but it's the that's where there's a lot of real serious murderers and rapists and crazy people, and like that's a bad place. But yeah, so he ended up going there. But I guess it turns out that I wasn't the only one that he did that to. Like he would go up to like he would go up to people and tell them what he was in there for, and then they'd beat him up. Like I don't know if he liked it, like I
on purpose. Like
it was weird. It was weird.
Ending someone's thought process there, but
yeah. So I actually didn't even get in trouble for that. I didn't get written up.
yeah,
or
it's
anything.
because like, bro, it does this all the time. Like, don't even sweat it. Like, what the fuck?
Yep. But I definitely got in trouble for the other fights. There was a lot of the other 3 fights were all happened on the basketball court, so it's not even worth like talking about. They were just basketball fights. Like we just
just fights from my basketball diary.
Ooh.
Let's go.
But yeah, so yeah, I was locked up with that pedophile, the shower shitter, and the one of the Dartmouth murderers.
The shower shitter. Oh,
that's crazy. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's I got something else I want to get into a little later. Okay. There's a little story that goes with that, but you go ahead, run whatever you got. Well, and then we'll do another movie recommendation at the end.
Be like so far off topic, but
well, what I have is so far off topic too, and it's not long, so just go ahead.
Okay, well, all right, we'll get into this because this is a lot more lighthearted. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. So is mine. And there's a fun little story that you'll remember that goes with it.
So I just want to highlight this person. I saw this thing the other day about them, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of crazy." Like the fact I didn't know any of this, basically. So hold on, will you pull this up? I'm gonna. I was gonna read it off my phone, but it's at 2%. So
wait. Pablo doesn't know everything?
No, I don't. Listen, I say this all the time, bro. Okay, so this would be a completely different topic, but I heard someone talking the other night, and like, to me,
here we go. I started a whole thing.
The arrogance of someone that like, you can always tell when someone talks like they know everything. All I know for sure is I don't know everything. You know, that's all I know. I know
act like you know everything. You sure act like you know it all.
And they always say a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. You know, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger.
Oh, man.
Did you post? Okay, so this lady, do you know who this is? Mary Kay Bergman?
No.
Well, here's the thing. You do. You're familiar with her work, which is crazy. So Mary Kay Bergman.
I am not familiar with her work.
You 1000% are, and I'll tell you in a second.
No, I'm not.
You are. You just don't know it. So Mary Kay Bergman, American voice actress. This
I
is
don't
a
accept
crazy
it.
story. It says, so bro, when you get into what she actually did, and so she's deceased, rest in peace. We'll get into a little bit of that, but I'm trying to think of which. So look at her accolades here. She did the voice for like Fairly Odd Parents, Scooby Doo, Toy Story, fucking South Park. She did all the female voices for South Park.
Yeah. I knew that.
Years. So
I did know that. Girl.
Yes.
I knew the name looked familiar. I was just giving you shit, but no, I did know that. I didn't remember it, but I don't know anything about her other than that she did the voices.
Right. So she grew up. I guess her mom, worked as hold on, where the fuck? This got to be somewhere in here. Like,
dude, you didn't have it ready. Get your shit together. This is a podcast, man.
Oh my god, give me a fucking break.
We're supposed to take this serious.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to take this serious, man. This is life or death. This is life or death. You know what? This is a way of life. So
what's crazy is her mom worked as an animator on bro, whatever, who cares? It was a big thing. But she lived across like whatever, bro. Her mom was an animator. That's, she grew up doing voices all the time.
That's all we need to know.
Yeah, it's pretty for real. So it's funny because right here it says she lived across the street from Adriana Castelletti, the voice of Snow White. Mary would eventually take over. Oh, I thought this was a serious podcast. Says the dude ripping bongs. So eventually taking over. She lived across the street from the chick who voiced Snow White. Right, her mom's an animator on and when I finally hear it,
so she had a huge influence living across from her, like a huge inspiration, like someone she could look up to as a voice actor. Like you did Cinderella. What? I'm looking at Two Pumpkins right now.
Eventually, she became the voice of Snow White, which is crazy.
Oh, Snow White. I thought you said Cinderella.
Gained popularity for voicing most of the female characters on South Park, which is crazy because when she took on the job, so because of her work with Disney and stuff, and she wanted to get more jobs. And the thing with you gotta think South Park at the time. This was such like a. Nobody thought this show was gonna be what it was.
No,
like
not even close.
Like, how did this even get on TV? Everyone they showed it to was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Even after the first couple seasons success, they didn't think that it was gonna get any bigger than that. Like it was just they really, there was no expectations for the show at all.
So because of that, she went under a pseudonym. She didn't want like her name. Basically, she didn't want her like
name associated with the
Disney. Yeah, because then her name's associated with Disney. Then if you look this up, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? But she did.
Cartman's getting an anal probe in the first episode, right?
So she did like Cartman's mom, Wendy Testerberger, Mary McDonald, Miss Crabtree, Principal Victoria, Stan's sister, like all the female characters basically. And
not Kyle's mom, right? A different chick did that.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't say it here. But
what?
So basically, it's like she suffered from lifelong depression. Nobody knew until after she committed suicide. Was original voice for Timmy Turner and Fairly Odd Parents. Died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. With a total of 11 married.
I definitely heard something about this.
Yeah, you probably have. So
no, I definitely did. Yeah, that's how I know the name. That's how I know the name.
First job is a radio commercial for a small home security company. So she grew up doing voices. She loved doing it. She's like, oh, I thought she got into it. She landed big, even during the first couple seasons of South Park. Like. Probably still worried, didn't, use the pseudonym. And she got big jobs with Disney, and like I said, Fairly Odd Parents. Like,
And which name was it that she was using?
I'm not sure. I'm sure you could look it up, or if you see
Yeah. But
yeah, then
but yeah,
supposedly
what were the roles that she got after that with Disney? Fairly Odd Parents, and what else?
Well, I don't know if I'm just saying, like, those are the big ones. Like,
Oh, okay.
Fairly Odd Parents. I guess she was in Toy Story,
Yeah, that's big.
Snow White,
Yeah, that's big.
Family Guy, fucking Arthur.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch of them. But yeah, supposedly she was like, depressed. She had like bipolar or whatever, and nobody knew type shit. And I guess one day she was like, even though she was still getting a bunch of gigs, she was like, I think I'm losing it. I'm losing my touch, and I don't know if I have it anymore and stuff. And then she died of a shotgun blast to the face.
Or
was ruled suicide.
yeah,
So
but was it a suicide?
that's why I'm bringing it. I don't know. I
don't believe so.
I just think she was a great talent, and it's just unfortunate. Not a lot of people know her name.
You know what's crazy?
And also, hold on, real quick. After she died, they struggled to replace her because this chick did so many voices that it's like
that's what I was gonna say.
With just one person would be crazy. So they actually had to wait weeks. If you watch, there's like multiple episodes in a row where a lot of the female characters like don't appear.
Yeah, she actually
replace her.
She actually did do the voice of Kyle's mom, because that was the first time I noticed one of the female voices change, and then I noticed it with Wendy, and then I started to notice it with that, and I'm like, what the heck? And I actually, it's weird because I did notice that trend, and then I did hear about this, but I completely forgot about it, and I don't even think I read that much into it. But
yeah, Sheila Broflovski, she did do the
yeah. But I don't even think I read as much into it as you just did. But I remember reading that she offed herself, but I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems a little.
To show her mom.
She seems to have had a pretty good thing going at the time.
I mean, I guess
demise.
You know what's going on in someone's head and stuff.
I know, but
was a very close friend of Grace.
Fresh Coast. I'm old too, man.
So I just wanted to highlight that, and it's sad either way, whether it was suicide or murder. I think, salute to Mary Kay Bergman for all the work she put in, and some great memories.
Yeah, because I will say this.
Sheila
Broflovski's voice, iconic.
Oh, absolutely.
And now it's terrible. I don't even like it.
Yeah.
I'm just being real. I still like the show. I just don't like Sheila Broflovski's voice. It's just not hitting for me.
Not hitting, bruv.
No, it's just not hitting for me. Fresh Coast said my old ass is a TV show for real. Oh man.
So did you want to do your thing, or there's another thing I could bring up? It's like,
we got like a half hour.
Kind of relevant. Okay, so let's get into this real quick. This is kind of strange.
Yeah, good. I did a whole
I had no idea about this till like literally I think it was last night. I was watching something, and this dude was covering, he's like, oh, this what's it, Unsolved Mysteries classic. And then he starts talking about it, and I'm like, I don't remember this like at all. But then he says like, why? Okay, that's how you spell it. So this girl, Catherine Corzelius, this 6-year-old, the 6-year-old girl missing for just 15 minutes is found dead within yards of her home. Now, what's strange about this case is her dad was the manager for Bon Jovi.
Right? Okay. All right.
And Bon Jovi wrote
Bovine Joni himself.
Bovine Joni actually wrote a song about this girl's death.
Okay.
So basically, apparently what happened was...
So this is Bovine Joni's daughter.
No, his manager's daughter.
Bovine Joni's manager's daughter.
Yeah.
Got
so
it.
basically, I guess literally she walked to their mailbox, and then apparently she was like struck by a vehicle and they took off. Like
What?
And
Okay.
yeah, it's strange. So basically, yeah, it's like at the age of 6, Catherine Cornelius seemed to be leading a charmed life, living in a great neighborhood in Texas.
That's sad.
World would come crashing down August 7th, 1996. It was so there was this dude's birthday, her dad's birthday, which is kind of weird. He was working at an office in New York City. Nancy and the kids had spent the day running errands, picking out a gift for him for his birthday. It was very quiet here in our neighborhood, as it usually is. In fact, I can remark that it was exceptionally quiet that day. On the way home, they stopped to pick up the mail. It was a ritual Catherine looked forward to. As usual, Catherine asked if she could walk home. So she wanted to walk home from the mailbox that was a little further up. And the mom said, yeah, that's fine. So I had allowed Catherine to do this because I knew she was ready to be more independent. She'd done it before. And Anthony and Chris drove home one way, and Catherine walked home in an opposite direction, which is a shorter way home. So about 15 minutes later, when she didn't get there, they said the boy at the door said that he had not seen Catherine. It was the moment.
And she was 6?
6 years old.
And they're letting her walk alone?
Yeah. They said they came across her. I could tell she was unconscious, but she was breathing. I knew it was too hot to leave her on the pavement. I knew that it's never a good idea to move somebody if you don't know what their injuries are, but I couldn't leave her there.
That's tough.
Catherine was on a ventilator to keep her breathing, but she was brain dead. It was a matter of being in a coma or being unconscious. Her brain had died. Catherine's father, Paul, I had arranged for a charter aircraft so I could come directly home. But at the end, it was too late anyway. I arrived at 12:30 in the morning, yada, yada, yada. So they think she got hit by a car and left. And then it said, if Catherine did tumble from a moving vehicle, whose vehicle was it? And was she pushed or did she fall? Catherine's father recalled a theory put forth by authorities. One of the theories that investigators proposed was that somehow Catherine had jumped on the back of our vehicle without Nancy's knowledge, and as the vehicle drove down Elder Circle, she had fallen off, which is a way to explain where she had been found in Elder Circle, which was completely opposite direction from where she had been walking. The Corzilius family was stunned. Was it possible that Nancy was responsible for her daughter's death? So there's some strange shit. They don't know who did it type of shit. And then what's very strange, like I said, the dad, it's his birthday, by the way, and he's Bovine Joni's manager.
Yeah.
Now, Bovine Joni, I hate you for saying that, wrote a song about this girl and her death.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of like, it's strange to me.
It is a little weird, but I mean, he probably knew her since she was born.
Well, so here's the thing. It says that these families are very close. They would go on vacations all the time together. We're like
Bovine Joni, what did you do? Did you have this
hey, I didn't say nothing, but it might rhyme with mud satellites. Chud appetite.
Bovine Joni.
They were supposedly they were close, very close family. They would have spend nights together in cabins, and it was like his kids and their young girl. I don't know. Elites tend to so verse 1, it was another day.
Yeah, because a 6-year-old walking by themselves is insane.
And then all of a sudden she is found and it's in the opposite direction where he's walking. It's the dad's birthday. It's like, you're a manager for Bon Jovi. And then he writes a song about like, so, okay, let's listen to the lyrics.
Yeah, let's
It
listen
says,
to it.
it was another day, a perfect Texas afternoon. A mother and 2 children play the way they always do. As they raced home from the mailbox, a mother and her son, against a little girl of 6 years old, the independent one. Okay, that's kind of strange. The deputies went door to door through all the neighborhood. They said, I got some news to tell you, folks. I'm afraid it ain't so good. Somehow something happened. Someone got away. Someone got the answers for what happened here today. I'm sure someone does have answers.
Yep, some
bovine
Joni.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Tell me, was it a dream? No, tell me it was just a dream. August 7th, 4:15. God closed his eyes and the world got mean. August 7th, 4:15. Now, the people from the papers and the local TV news try to find the reason. Cop dogs sniff around for clues. Someone shouted, hit and run. The coroner cried foul. Her blue dress, what she wore the day they laid her body down. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Tell me, was it just a dream? August 7th, 4:15. God closed his eyes and the world got mean. August 7th, 4:15. I know tonight that there's an angel up on heaven's highest hill, and no one there could hurt you, baby. No one ever will. Somewhere, someone's conscience is like a burning bed. The flames are all around you. How you gonna sleep again? Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Tell me, was it just a dream? August 7th, 4:15. God closed his eyes and the world got me. August 7th, 4:15. I don't know, man. That's just weird to me.
But Fresco says Bohemian Jovi as well.
Bohemian Jove is crazy, bro.
Yeah, Bohemian Jovi.
Bohemian Jove is crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was like, I never even heard of this case. I never it says her hair was smoothed down, her shirt was straight, her shorts were straight, her toes were pointed straight, her sandals were on. I know someone moved her. I know someone laid her there for me to find.
Yeah, that's very
After all investigation and speculation, the cause of Catherine's death remains a mystery in the quiet neighborhood on Elder Circle. In memory lives on. Catherine's neighbors have planted a tree and placed a plaque in her name. Family friend to Bohemian Jove. Nancy Cornelius, I think of families of people who are missing in action. Well, they're not here, but what happened to them? And that's exactly, to a certain extent, how I feel about our daughter. I had Catherine's body, but something happened in that last 15 minutes of her life, and I don't know what that was.
Dun dun dun.
So, I'm not trying to make a joke.
That's sad.
It's terrible. Sad. Rest in peace to this little girl. It's awful.
Absolutely
it's
sad.
Awful. And regardless of what happened, even if it was an accident, I just can't imagine her jumping on the back. Can I walk? And then she's gonna jump on the back of your car.
Right.
And then she rolled.
And Bovine Joni is involved.
And somehow Bohemian Jove's manager on his birthday. It's like,
yeah, on his birthday.
And he writes a weird song about it. He's like, someone knows.
And they left her there for me to find.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, man. It's strange. And I had never heard about it until last night. And I just thought it was, interesting. So rest in peace, Mary Kay Bergman and Catherine Corzelius. Rest in peace to both of you.
Rest in peace to both of them.
One day we get some answers in this case, because It's horrific, man. And if there is, you know, a slime ball that, you know, I don't know, was like drinking and driving and hit her. But also sometimes I saw another case recently where when someone's driving down the street and they're a sicko perpetrator and they see a potential victim, that sometimes they do hit them with their car to like you know, incapacitate them before they try to like kidnap them. So if there was a situation like that, because people are saying like, oh, quiet neighborhood and it was quiet, you never know. Weirdos are everywhere. You can pull up an app right now and see all the dots around you.
But they took off though. They wouldn't have took off.
But so what I'm saying is that if it was like a lone pedophile, like a magic bullet theory, the lone pedophile theory, if they did see her and they like, you know, they thought, oh, I'll hit her to incapacitate her. Maybe they did like try to throw her in the car and then they realized that she was like already gone. And instead of now taking her with them and then trying to figure out a way to dispose after, they just were like, oh, fuck, she's already gone. Let's just like took her back out of the car and left her on the street. Maybe, you know, I don't know. That could be a possibility, but I don't know. Bohemian Jove. So,
it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Unsolved mystery, man.
Unsolved mystery.
But, you know, I know it was like way out there. So it was like, you know, kind of hard to tie in or bring in or like be more lighthearted about it. But I just thought it was strange. And yeah, but we can move on. We can move on to something else. Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to something a little more lighthearted.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so have you ever now? I'm gonna ask you a question.
No.
Then I'm gonna make a statement.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna tell a story.
Question, statement, story. Okay.
And then we can talk about the two things that I reference. Okay.
Okay.
Have you ever watched Bob's Burgers?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so real quick, I seen like random episodes, never really like watch it, but I like it when it's on. Like when I see it, I like it, I laugh. So like yeah. So I've been starting to like watch it like before I go to bed and stuff. I'll watch a couple episodes. So and it's hilarious. I love it. I absolutely love it. But anyway, home movies.
Yeah.
So great show. The coach, the guy who does the voice for Coach on that. Yeah. Also does the voice for Bob.
Yeah.
Also does the voice for a lot of other things too.
Yeah.
But now I think I might have brought this up on another episode of Unscripted, but I'm gonna bring it up again anyway, just in case, because it's a really short story. So one time, me, Pablo, and one of Pablo's brothers, we ate some mushrooms, okay? And we were in my car, and we were just waiting for them to kick in. Well, when we left the house, nobody was in the house. We took some mushrooms. We got some mushrooms. We ate some. And then I was like, oh, let's just drive around your neighborhood until it starts kicking in. Well, they kicked in really fast. And then we had a hard time finding our way back to Pablo's house, and we're in his neighborhood. I've been in this, driven through this neighborhood a million times. We could not find our way back because they kicked in so fast and so strong. But anyway, we were also trying to figure out what the name of the best friend so we pull up to the house. We finally find the house, right? And we're just sitting out in the car, and we're trying to figure out the best friend's name on home movies.
Yeah.
And we kept. I remember we kept like me and you, or me and Kevin. I remember me and one of you. we kept wanting to say Kyle. Like we kept saying Kyle for some reason. Like and
It's not Kyle.
It's not Kyle, but
Mhm.
that's just what kept coming to mind. And so anyway, we start tripping like real hard, right? So then we're like, all right, we'll go inside and we'll just run. So when you go in the front door, the stairs were right there to go upstairs, and then Pablo's brother's room was like right in front of like the top of the stairs. So and when there were people at the house, they always hung out downstairs in the basement or whatever. So because it was like a pool table down there and stuff, so everybody always chilled down there. So we're like, all right, when we get it, well, you know, we're gonna run from the car to the house, run up the stairs, get in Pablo's brother's room as fast as possible, and just shut the door, right? Because what happened was when we got back to the house, there was a ton of people there that weren't there when we left. So we're like, what the hell? So we run up the stairs, run into the room, we open the door, boom. Everybody's jam-packed in this tiny room. I start grabbing people. I think we all started doing it. I'm just like grabbing people, like, all right, go out, you out, let's go. Everyone out now. We just cleared out there. Everyone's like, what the hell is going on? We're like, I don't care, out. Someone's like, oh, I left my, I don't care, out.
I love my God. Yeah.
Yep. And then we just shut the door and we're like, whew. We felt like that was like a whole mission, like to get people up. But it threw me off completely when I opened that door and everyone was in there, because that was a very like uncommon thing. So when you're tripping, it's like, wait, what the fuck? This isn't supposed to be happening. Yeah. But no, I've been watching Bob's Burgers, so it got me thinking about home movies, and then it reminded me of that. Obviously, every time I think of home movies, I think of that story. But that was hilarious. That was good times.
You told that story like recently episode.
I thought so. I didn't know if it was on like a regular stream or if it was on an episode. But
yeah, we already fucking heard it.
Who cares? Either way, for new fans who haven't,
no, I know.
But no, and you know what? Those were amazing mushrooms. Those mushrooms were really good.
Mushrooms,
they're real.
They're great.
Oh, I do have one more thing, actually.
Yeah, okay.
So wait, what is this? No thanks. I just want to make sure I have the right name of the movie. Okay, yes. Okay, so
you better.
Can you pull up
Black?
Black Friday.
Black Friday. Was it a horror movie?
Yep, 2021.
Oh, okay.
It's a horror comedy. I just watched this the other day. I think I like seen it one time on one of my streaming services and just never watched it. But I don't think I probably didn't know that these people were in it.
This one? You can pull it up?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Is this what you are referring to, sir?
Yeah, so Bruce Campbell, Devon Sawa. So now to me, that's horror comedy, two horror comedy legends.
Icons.
Yeah, Devon Sawa, Idle Hands, Final Destination, right? And then Bruce Campbell, obviously, Evil Dead, right? So
Evil Dead, Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep. So bringing those two together for a horror comedy was great. I don't feel like they really did enough with Devon Sawa. I think they just kind of used him for his name, but it was a decent movie. It was worth a watch. It wasn't like anything special or anything like that, but the they're not zombies. They're some type of like, I don't know. You have to watch the movie, but like an asteroid hits, and then like it's Black Friday, obviously, and the shoppers start turning into these like things, and it's crazy. And the longer they are these things, the more they progress into it, and the final form of them is wild. And then they be, it's crazy. But and then there's like a little
final form. Yeah.
there's kind of a little twist at the end too. Not a twist, but it's kind of a little surprise at the end too. You're like, oh shit. But again, it's nothing special, but it's worth a watch. And it's actually a movie you could watch. You don't have to wait for Halloween because it's actually a Thanksgiving movie for real.
Oh, for real.
There's actually a couple movies like that. Thanksgiving and Pilgrim, both great movies as well. But yeah,
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim, I think that's on Netflix. But yeah, it's Pilgrim's wicked. Oh no, it's on Hulu. But Pilgrim's wicked good, and then Thanksgiving. I saw that in theaters last year. I think it came out last year. That was pretty good. Good movie. The beginning scene with the Black Friday shoppers and stuff. That was a vicious scene. But nah, this movie Black Friday, again, nothing special, but definitely worth the watch.
Okay.
Just figured I'd bring it up because I just watched it recently. So
I may have to check it out.
ooh, I got two really good movie recommendations for next week. I don't think I'm gonna do another one for this week because we already talked about a bunch of movies and we're already at the end of the episode. So, but nah, I got two really good ones for next week.
Words and sons. I did watch. I watched a couple shows. So,
have you watched Trailer Park Boys yet?
No, nope.
Of course not.
I watched Monsters, the Eric and Lyle Menendez story.
Oh my god, but you won't watch Trailer Park Boys. Oh, hey, hold on. Before you get into the Menendez thing, have you ever watched BoJack Horseman?
Yes, I have.
Good show.
BoJack Bon Jovi's.
Yeah, I've been watching BoJack.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
I just started it.
It's funny, but
yeah, it's very funny. I laughed my
actually
ass
wasn't going to get into the so I was gonna do.
I like Will Arnett and I like Aaron Paul a lot.
So I'll get into that on a different stream. My breakdown of Monsters, the Eric and Lyle Menendez story. I just watched that, and I just watched.
I don't care nothing about that.
This Thai series called "Don't Come Home." I just watched that too, and it's like it's hard because
that's what your mama said to you.
If I say too much, it's like, yeah, I don't know how to like non-spoiler it.
Don't come home, sucker.
Yeah, I might just have to do a whole separate breakdown. But I just watched those two shows, and I have things to say about both of them. But
okay,
I don't want to ruin the Menendez shit. It would take me a while to get into all the stuff, and the other show it's very spoiler heavy conversation.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't care nothing about
I'm
that.
trying to think of how what else to really
We don't have to think of anything else. We could end the show right now. That's the beauty of it all.
Should we play the Ring promo or something?
That's the beauty of it all. Run the promo. Run the promo for the Ring. Going down next Saturday, November.
Come home.
November 23rd. Next Saturday. Time to be determined. Probably about 7:00. I'm assuming, maybe 6. And yeah, Brick Street Sprite defending his title against Robs.
The champ is there.
Yep.
The champ is
there. And then we have Kid Dangerous versus Tazlo Flames. And then we also have Sick Mosh versus Fresh Coast Live. And we have money on the line. Winner take all for all 3 battles. So let's go.
Yeah, and by winner take all, he means I'll be taking the money because I'm a winner.
Well, it's in my Cash App, so I'm the winner. I'm the winner, and I'm taking it. So how's that sound? It's in my Cash App.
Everybody vote right now. Who's the winner?
It doesn't matter. It's in my Cash App. I'm keeping it.
But one more time, shout out to the veterans. Shout out to our guest earlier.
Yes.
MME, that was amazing.
Yes, salute.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. We had some fun. We had touched a lot of different topics.
Oh yeah, a ton of stuff.
And none of them were 13 different topics, and none of them were forced.
Facts. Facts.
But November 23rd, the ring. I might have to hit up Sick Mosh in here in some of these rounds. The ring, round 2. Let's go.
Wait, hold up. Pause it.
No.
You said some of these rounds?
Yeah.
So I thought it was one round.
I thought the Sick Mosh one was like 3 1-minute rounds.
Oh.
That's what I heard. I don't know. But I haven't heard a lot because, I don't know, apparently people are trying to blackball the ring. Not going to work. Can't be blackballed. Can't be bought. Can't be shamed. Unscripted Logic is our own identities. And our names cannot be sullied. These smear merchants.
What's funny is they don't understand, like, for anyone really trying to, like, do some dumb shit like that, like, we're not using any battlers from anyone's league. We're not we're not stepping on any toes. We're not doing anything. We're literally doing our own thing. Shout out to Hip Hop Reactions.
We're stepping on our own toes, trying to like put on entertainment for people. So
eat a D.
Eat a Bon Jovine Bohemian.
Yeah, eat a bovine Jovi Bohemian Jive.
A mud sandwich with extra crunch, extra gravel. And guess what? Let's take a listen to this. Smear merchants.
Yeah.
Slanderous, serpentine, silly men.
Why is it still loading?
It's not.
Oh, press play.
I'll slice you up. Big meth rocks, moving like icy pucks. Take a shot, then we swinging sticks like the Mighty Ducks. I ain't really want to do it, but he wouldn't stop. I caught a Glock. Bill Cosby, because it'll pill at any moment. Plus, I pull it, and every bullet I put in pops. He said he gonna do what to me? No, he won't. For cheese, I popcorns for trying to pull an okie doke.
You really know it's really dangerous, especially if I put the clean chrome across the table, stainless. The flashback from this bitch won't feel painless. I'm telling you, you probably couldn't even tell if the devil was sitting across the table. How nefarious, nigga, I'm curious. The fuck made you take that name for, nigga? It's a mouthful. It's eyeball, you weird and clearly eyeball. Makes me wanna fuck you in the eyeball. Hit you to the fucking color purple like eyeball with that name. I don't understand what type of fame you trying to obtain, nigga.
I know I'm your pops, but who's your mother? This dude's a sucker. I'm a ruthless brother. Perform one hit with the Uzi and Ruben stuttered. The type to work a 9 to 5 and on my brake pedal gasket. New attire, change gear, work clothes to fly fashion. Ball bearing my ratchet, my passion to drive past his. I drank a half-quart of high-tech bread, trying to waste time. I'm backboard, that shit wear off, I'm storing bass lines. Watching homies who just got free throw their life away. Skimming off the top of the key while they light a J. You tipping off the fed, you see I'm a shooter with shook ops. Coming short with my cream will get you in your hook shot.
Such a bitch, the gunpowder hit kid eye, make his eye so I got a gun so big it's like a towel through the lens, I can see an eyeful. Fuck that, I scrapped the sniper, 2 twin knives, they cyclones. Once they land on you, they feel like typhoons. One each through the chrome, one through your dome, and one through your eye and your iPhone.
Best believe, player, your homies could die with you. In the morgue, laying stiff when the bullets that fly hit you. Cold-blooded, look at disgust, closing your eyes, sicko.
Check. I had to check, so no kidding, play but an easy dead kick. I had to kick through the sand, son. And then I cooked the shit on my Samsung. And then I sent that shit to Samsung, send for send them up, just to send them up. And another easy dead kick just because.
You won't catch me sleeping like weak sedatives. Phony blood type only teach you to be negative.
And I'm a marvel at your death because you was a true fighter. Had to fire chopper at your bones since I'm fucking Ghost Riders. Fuck your props and your acclamations. I'm animated. I make you run frantic through the front door like Tasmanian. Once you try to breeze in like a whirlwind, one shot hits your shin, you want a whirlwind again.
And for the last shot, I let the Mac pop. Nothing but blood pouring out of his face. Every last drop.
Nigga talking about circuit. Well, with this, since he live and we still live, I'ma fuck up the circuit. Gonna put the nigga to the back of the dome so we can't fight. Drag him to a black room. Dark night, nigga crow, subside, it's it. He cried, he gonna ask me and look me in my eye if he gonna live or die. I had to flip money in the air like a titty boy, I let the coin side.
I don't want nobody to like my material at all. Because my material is going to be disrespectful. It's going to be stuff that's going to destroy my opponents. Fuck stipulations and everything else. I'm loyal to Dr. Sun to the end. Fuck all these dudes who don't agree. I don't give a damn. Because it's me versus everybody in the battle rap culture. I didn't come in this to be liked. Man, I'm all disrespect. I'm all attitude. And I want you guys to know that.
Talk that shit.
You always used to talk that shit.
Talk that shit.
Talk shit. But the shit I talk be real shit. Now check this out. I'm just start battle rapping, bro. You know what I'm saying? I already got the voice. I got the intimidation factor. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I gotta say next is, hey yo! That's it. I got gun bars, I got struggle bars, you know what I'm saying? A couple of selling crack here and there, been locked up, got a family, cheated on my girl, got back with my girl, like, what the fuck, bro? I'm like the greatest battle rapper ever. The rest of you niggas suck, bro.
Alright. Yours truly, man. DNA Tooth Nephew, no blast artist. No Danny Miles offspring, man.
I'm a respectfully, seriously ask you, is this a joke?
It's not a joke. November 23rd. Let's go.
I asked him the exact same question when he sent me his when he told me, he's like I want to battle you. I want to battle on the ring. I want to do it. I'm like, and then he showed me his charges. I'm like, dude, are you trolling me? Like, what?
Right.
But this has been a fire episode. I loved it. It was very fun. We had some great war stories. We had some sad stories. We had some funny stuff. We had some, so we had shower shitters, all that. So, so that being said, thank y'all very much for joining us. Join us next Monday. We might just have a couple of guests going, that might have a couple things to say to each other. We'll see. You'll have to tune in next Monday to find out. So that being said, Pablo, you
don't want to be a shower shitter at Bohemian Jove who wishes for the downfall of the country you live in just because you can't take an L.
Yep. Don't be bovine.
The Marine. Hoorah! The Marines, the Navy, all y'alls. And
not salute to Bovine Joni.
Yes, and down with Jobs.
Yep.
Jobsties.
Oh man.
Steve Jobs.
Yes, sir. 702 salute, brother. This was a great episode from beginning to end.
I feel like getting back into the groove.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing felt forced. It was nice. But that being said, we out this bitch. I'm pulling out. I don't know about you.
Can we at least protect the ladies?
We can definitely do that.
With Whether they like it or not.
Whether they like it or not. We out this bitch.
Ladies. Let's go.
Peace.
Peace.